Not me. Not I, said the fly. Alright, so, in our last session, y'all motherfuckers continued your preparations, having just exited the sewer after having dealt with Lionel Trebane, one of the holdouts, one of the clan that Antoinette had sent you to go deal with. You emerged and you made your way south toward the forests, a bit south of Shady Creek Run, where you met with a different group of Trebanes. Sylvia, in her group, and you learned a little bit about her, or rather, you recalled information that you had already learned about her, particularly you, Akron, that before you all had come in and disrupted all the natural order of things and fucking killed Darko, she was an ambitious up-and-comer.
Yeah, kill
With
Darko.
You did kill Darko, yes.
Yeah, kill her.
You did not kill Sylvia, though. You managed to persuade her to join your cause by offering her a place of leadership in the Trebanes. Moreover, you offered her leadership of the entire clan once this whole war thing blew over, seeing as Antoinette has no interest in ruling, and there will be a power vacuum that needs filling, and she seemed to take interest in that. She's agreed to, if nothing else, at least meet with you all and Antoinette tomorrow at noon, I believe it was.
Yes, it was.
Well, that'll be something to look forward to. But moving on, making your way back into the city, a few decisions were made. One, you needed information. Two, you needed money. So you split up. Moorish and Strom, you all made your way to a warehouse on the south side of Shady Creek Run in the district of South Clover. A sort of industrial, semi-mercantile area where a lot of the families keep their own private industries, and there you found a warehouse that the Mardoon family often used as a way station for the transportation of valuable items such as gems. You began to scout it out. Meanwhile, Akron, Zale, and Mish made their way to a tavern known as the Landlocked Siren, where you met with the half-elf informant, Eleanor, and she gave you some fairly useful information for a price of gold. Akron, you now hold 4 names in your hand of potential hopefuls.
I
People
should
she
read those,
is,
shouldn't I?
if you like, people who she decided or has learned that have a bit of an interest in your cause for one reason or another that might be amenable to discussion. But you will get the chance to share those afterward because currently you all are engaged in battle. You got ambushed by a little bit. You made a new friend, an associate of Missing Fingers known as Dishgeist, and then promptly lost him as he was slashed in the back, paralyzed, and murdered by a figure that none of you all know all too well, at least none of you that have seen him. And now you are currently locked in a fight over this warehouse. You've killed a lot of fucking guards, and we're gonna go take it right back at the top of the initiative as we begin. Starting with Mr. Vishjogar, a goblin on a flying broom. That would be familiar to some of you if you have seen him yet, but again, none of you that have seen this man recognize him yet. Hovering in the air about 50 feet away from the battle and quite high up, looking out over the field, seeing that he's just been shot by a few scorching rays, he is going to use his 50 feet of movement to duck around and use the cover of some buildings far away, moving about 30 feet further, but actually dipping down a bit. And he is just going to hold there for now. I will make a stealth check for him, even though it's not necessary. As he vanishes from the field once again, as seems to be his want. Next up, Akron, it is your turn.
Okay, let me see what's going on.
I believe in our last round you were just attacked by a roguey magey type who had hit you with a shadow blade and then ran away.
Oh, him.
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Oh, I remember what I was going to do. Okay. As a bonus action, I'm gonna get the Force Ballisted to walk 15 feet along the wall this way, and then he's going to non-lethally shoot Disguised.
Okay, sure.
That's what I was gonna do.
So this is a massive, like, cannon of raw force. It is. I'll allow non-lethal damage, but
You can lose the leg. That's fine.
yeah, it's gonna do some damage. It might not kill him, but it's gonna hurt.
So I just click it.
Yes,
There we
sir. 14 to hit. misses, unfortunately. As you go for the leg, and the guard is still mid-sprint at this point, just running as fast as he fucking can to get away from this battle, and he just happens to lift his leg at the right time, and it smashes the ground underfoot. He nearly trips over the sudden pothole that erupts, looks back and sees this fucking cannon and just screams. "Ah!" He's not having a great time.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Cool, I'm gonna firebolt him, non-lethal.
Firebolt is, well, okay, again, if you want to take a leg or
Again,
something.
he can lose some toes, that's fine with me.
Alright, go roll damage. That hits. Oops.
So that plus another d8.
He has 12 hit points. He's down. As you 21 damage total, he had 12 hit points remaining. Yeah, you blast this guy in the lower leg and his foot comes off. And he drops to the ground screaming. Ah! Oh my god! Then he passes out.
That's my full 10.
Alright. Let me... Because he's only unconscious, not dead. Alright, Mr. Morris, it's your turn. From just under your window, you have seen this man lose his foot.
I'm gonna jump out the window.
Okay, you're jumping from the second story, so roll an acrobatics check. This is about 20 feet up.
Yeah, no worries. That's a 5.
You take 2d6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, no worries.
And... Ooh, 6. And you fall prone.
Okay.
Landing flat on your fucking face. It's rather unpleasant.
I'm gonna use bonus action to Misty Step.
Okay. Where are you going?
Yeah, no. Actually, no, wait. So 5 feet to get out. So if I take it's got fit, so I'll have 10 feet of movement left. Yeah.
So you jumped out the window straight, right?
Yeah, basically.
I'd say it's 5 feet of movement to jump down, so you'd have 25 feet left. It would
15
take
to
half
get
your movement
up.
to get up.
So
So
15 to
yeah,
get up. So yeah, 5.
and you have 10 left.
10. Action dash. Another 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Okie doke.
It's my turn.
All right. Mr. Mishing Fingers, it is your go. The man you have just dubbed Dish and put your hat on has lost his foot. He's unconscious but alive.
Alright. Roll 20, isn't it? Playing ball.
Is it being a slut?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just simulating you having to erase all your errors in pencil, don't worry.
Would someone mind streaming for Mr. Kutch, and then he can just dictate his moves? Oh, never mind. Or you can get in. That works too.
Closing and reopening. Fixes everything.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, IT.
Mm-hmm.
You tried turning it off and on again. Well, are you sure it's plugged in?
Yep. Souls.
Wait, we
99%
have
of problems.
technology.
Oh god, you fucking piece of shit. Yeah, someone on a stream.
Yeah, would someone other than me stream their,
Yeah, bro, go on stream.
fuck you.
Okay, where is Dish or Mish? And where's
Mish.
Dish?
Mish is there, Dish is there.
How far is that, Noodle?
From you? Oh, that wrong thing. 65 feet.
65 feet, so I couldn't even make it if I dashed.
There is a ballista around the corner.
Ah, but I have to worry about Dish.
He'll be fine.
No, I won't.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not gonna
just
lose him again.
You can just make another one.
True.
Just see the first person you see. That's another new Dish. Take him.
Yeah.
It's been a bad day. It has been a bad day for Mish, to be fair.
A terrible day.
I would like to dash towards Dish 2.0.
Okie doke. Alright, I'll move you over 50 feet. Running as fast as your little gnome legs will carry you, pushing up against the wall. You're moving toward him, and he is so tantalizingly close now.
Oh, Dish, what have you done?
Lost his foot, but he can't tell you that because he's unconscious.
You're making a mesh.
He really is. All over the floor. At the end of your turn?
Probably, because I can't see what else I can do.
Okie doke. Speaking
do
of
you
Dish,
wanna-
he needs to make a death save.
Or do you want to do a medicine check on him, Kutch, to see if you can stabilize him?
Yes. Well, I
Uh,
can't reach him.
Not
Can I
in
stabilize
range.
him from here?
You used your action to dash, and you're still 10 feet off, so that will have to be
Yeah.
next turn.
Throw a health potion like Baldur's Gate.
I
Oh,
couldn't
that's a-
split them to.
Isn't it non-lethal that Akron took him out?
It is
Yes,
non-lethal.
but
He
it's
lost his foot.
also
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
firebolt to the foot,
Yeah,
so
no,
he's
fair.
still bleeding out.
Oh,
The
what, a bit
fire.
cauterized?
Whoa! Yeah, the fire
I-
cauterizes the wounds, Verb.
Have you ever seen someone get their entire limb shot off? You're not cauterizing that shit. That's a lot of blood.
Fucking you? Question mark?
Maybe.
I don't
You don't know
believe
my life.
You don't know
Okay.
I live in South
Alright.
Africa, buddy.
It wasn't shot, it was burned.
No, he's making death saves.
That's
What do
one
you have
advantage.
against
That's
this?
DM's ruling.
With advantage.
You're dishest.
Fuck you. Alright, we come back to Rifleman 6, who was attempting to put out the fire, and then he sees Strom and Zale moving up. Very quickly, he's going to... He doesn't have his weapons in hand. Well, actually, he does. His rifle slung over his shoulder. But he's going to step out and look at the both of you and say, hey, I heard you're looking for fighters. I'll join your side if you let me live.
Insight check.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, you can make one more. At disadvantage because you're far away.
How dare you take away my dirty 20? And I get that one! I hate you!
Morris, you're trying to look, but some of the smoke from the fire gets in your eyes and start to water up and you have to look away. Zale, he doesn't look like he plans to betray you. He just looks like he's interested in staying alive, and maybe he just sees one paycheck as good as any other.
Do it.
Help us mop up in your in.
Okay, alright, you got it, boss. And he's going to move up behind this guard here and stab him in the back.
What fucking legend! What a legend!
Excellent.
That's an 11, that misses. He slashes out and it grinds off against the armor, and the guard looks back. You motherfucker! Sorry! That's the end of his turn. Zale, it's your go.
Zale is going to step to the side and be like, no, this is how you do it. And I'm going to swing at him with my giant sword.
Okie dokie. Yeah, that hits. Jesus.
man.
Yeah, that kills him. Yeah. You bring up your great sword and you cleave his head in two fucking equal halves, and it splits him right down the middle.
20.
Holy
Take your word
fuck.
or you get worse.
Yeah, I see that. I'm good. I'm good. You got it, man. You got it.
Good boy.
Please don't call me that. It feels very demeaning.
Don't tell me what to do. I'm your boss.
Right. Yep, I'm a good boy. All right.
So 5, 10, 15. Oh, wait, sorry. 5, 10, 20, 25. Can I just open this door and see inside here?
Sure. You open that door and you see a warehouse full of crates all along the sides of the wall here. You see a empty carriage/cart here that you see with like an empty bed. You get the sense it's meant to mount a ballista, similar to what you saw, and a more or less open space up here where the previous carriage was.
No more troops or anything inside.
No more troops. Well, there are a few warehouse workers who are huddled in fear by the crates, but they're not worth putting tokens down unless you want to murder them.
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm just going to use my last 5 feet to just dip in.
Okay.
And just take cover inside the house while I assess what's going on outside.
Sounds
And that'll
great.
be my turn.
Gotcha. Next up is the cart. Seeing as there is a pool of eldritch darkness over there, it is instead going to turn and move and down this street. 40 feet for a draft horse. Action to dash, moving up to 80 and dragging the ballista with it as they prepare to wheel round. The dead shots are both going to use their actions to hurry along the reload process. They only have one action left before that thing's ready to go. And that is it for them. Mr. Strom Duskar, it is your turn.
Alright. Whereabouts roughly was the hole in the wall that Zale made? In the...
Right about there.
It was there.
Okay. So,
You can make it to him.
yeah, I should be about there.
Okay. Yeah, this rogue mage with a very slender, lithe body and studded leather armor looks up at you approach. Fuck, was really hoping to get away. $22, that hits. did not give him shield. Okay, 8 points of damage there. Cutting into him. He looks like a fairly tough figure. 18 also hits. But with that damage, as you cut him and he grimaces, he doesn't look like he's especially trained to withstand a great deal of damage. And another 11, slashing him again across the lower stomach, cutting through a lot of his armor. Blood sprays out and he winces. Fuck you! That hurts!
I'll finish him off with a bonus action, maybe?
Okay. Because he's magic. Yeah, 23 hits, 12 points of piercing damage as you follow up with a third shot, planting your pepper box right up against his chest and pulling the trigger, and the spray of blood blasts out behind him and paints the wall, and he staggers back, badly hurt but not quite dead.
Okay.
You look like you dealt him a grievous blow in that sequence.
That'll do for me.
You piece of shit. You just stay right there, okay? And he's gonna plant a hand on your chest and cast Hold Person. I need to make a Wisdom saving throw. DC of... is it gonna tell me? Let me... what if I do... 16? Let's see. Where are my saving throws for this guy?
If you cast the
If I do this...
16.
16. Oh wow, you succeed. Nice. Yeah, he puts a hand on your chest and the magic surges over you and you feel your muscles start to lock. And you flex and resist it. And you see genuine panic start to light in this guy's eyes. Fuck you. He is going to move and disregard the attack of opportunity. 10, 15, so you get a shot at him. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, running toward the stairs.
Maybe not.
Okay, 15 misses. He's going to use his bonus action to dash, and now he is on the second level. As he moves 40 feet, as far away as he can get. That is guard dead. End of your turn. Back to the top of the round. With only one combatant left on the field, and, well, there's the ballista as well. We can sort of... well, no, we'll keep going for now. Might as well. Vistrogar is going to do stuff in the background. Moving. Don't worry about that. Just give me a moment.
Don't worry about the murderous goblin.
With the poisons and the crossbows and the scimitars. Akron, it is your turn.
Okay. Are there any windows on the second floor at like this wall?
At that wall, yes.
On the
Yes, there would
second
be one.
floor?
Yep,
Okay.
on the second floor, yes.
5, 10, 15. Does
Mhm.
my ballista have sight?
Let's
him.
see. Line. So the window would be like this particular wall there. I would
didn't
say
see
from
that.
there.
I didn't see that.
I would say he has half cover from there. So yeah, you can take a shot. You might be able to see like an arm or something.
Okay. Let us go.
29. Oh Jesus! Fuck, that's a lot of damage.
42 force damage.
Okay, hokey doke. Let's see, how much damage is that?
That's a
Oh, wow,
fucking
he's
shatter
badly
for a
hurt.
single person, like
So
every turn.
so who was making fun of my cannon, by the way?
Yeah, that thing shoots, and you don't see anything, Akron, but you hear a cry of pain as this guy's arm from the shoulder down is just shattered into like a broken mess, dangling at his, flopping at his side. Fuck! And he's not having a good time.
Very good. I would like to see if I can spot that goblin, like at all. Any
Make a
movement,
perception check.
any sort of footprints, anything like that.
Absolutely. Make a perception check.
Natural 20, baby.
Oh, really? God damn. Yes.
Ooh.
Okay, so, in this moment, as all this combat has been going on, you've been keeping your head on a fucking swivel, watching the skies, because you know this fucker is flying, and you have seen the goblin flying from here, about 80 feet in the...
I can't see
hang on.
your shit.
Yeah, on my, Oral 20's being a bitch, it won't let me move this fucking window out of the way.
Stream
He was
burp.
about... Sorry? No, fuck you.
Stream-
He was moving...
stream-
So from about this, roughly this direction, 80 feet away, flying in a wide circle toward this direction. He's still quite some distance off, but he's roughly over there. You can't see him currently, but you've seen his movement.
Did I?
He's
hold
moving
an
in a
action?
wide circle toward you.
Can I hold my action, or was it my action to spot him?
It was your action to spot him, yeah.
No free action. Okay, it's fine.
Actually, I'll let you hold an action, sure. Because we described it as like you keeping a constant awareness rather than an active search.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, as soon as I see him and as soon as he's within 60 feet, I'm gonna cast Shatter directly on him.
Okie doke. Sounds good. Just as a reminder, if you hold a spell and the condition for it does not go off, the spell is wasted and the slot is used.
Is it? Okay.
Yes, yes. Except for cantrips, obviously, because those are infinite.
Yeah. In that case, just a firebolt.
Okay, doke. You got it. Mr. Morrish, it is your turn.
How big is this fire?
So currently it's spreading up a whole support beam, which is about 5 foot wide, and it's starting to lick up at the ceiling and spread out from there. So at the top of the roof, it's maybe like a 10-foot radius, and growing.
Fucking hell. 2 seconds. Okay. Fucking hell. I'm gonna move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I'm roughly in the middle of the 2 patches of fire.
Oh, yep, more or less.
And pull out one. My last. How do I say my last? My last filled dust of dryness bead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try and toss it up at the biggest part of the fire and see if I can get it to like spread out and hit.
Okay. Roll a... This would be a dexterity roll, so roll dexterity, and it's not a high roll on this,
Would
but
I have proficiency technically because I am proficient in all types of weapons?
do you have proficiency in improvised weapons?
Oh fuck, no I don't. Shit. Okay, dex roll it is.
Alright.
No, 19.
Hey, that's pretty damn good. Yeah, with pretty expert accuracy, you lob that thing up there and it flies in a pretty good arc, and you're aiming not just for the roof, but for a chimney that's sticking out, thinking that with the angle, the water will splash and perhaps get a wide enough arc to cover both flames, and your theory is proved true as the pellet explodes against this chimney and a rain comes down and turns most of the flame into steam.
Excellent. Well, that's that taken care of. That's full movement and my action. Yeah, my turn.
Okie doke. Mish, is your roll 20 still acting?
Yes.
Okay. How bad is it? Can you see anything at all?
I can see, but it's just trying to move. It makes like 5 seconds, the updates, and then it's moved far more than I wanted it to.
Okay. Well, you can tell me what you to do, and I can move your token around, I guess.
I go off the dish, and
Mhm.
I do a medicine check, and try
Alright.
and stabilize the bleeding. Did his foot get blown off, or like just vaporized?
It's off, yeah.
Is it
Yeah,
nearby?
we can make him
Well, yeah, it kind of got chunked, is how I mean. You can see one fairly big piece, and you can recognize like the front of a toe of a boot, but
Okay.
there's no reconstituting it.
Okay. Yeah, I try and stop the bleeding by tying
Okay.
him up with something.
Yeah, go ahead and make a medicine check. We'll say a natural 1 will cause this to be another failed death save, but 10 is your DC on this.
8.
8. That is not a success. You try to go and wrap up this guy's wound, and as you're trying to apply this thing to his charred, bleeding, ruined leg, he screams in agony.
Jesus.
Shush, it's not that bad.
He is starting to come back to a thin, agonized consciousness again, and he looks up at you, attacking, like, tending, air quotes, to his wound, and he thinks you're torturing him. Oh, God! He's gonna use his turn to be unconscious still. Well, he's semi-conscious, but he can't act. He needs to make another death save. 20.
He's gonna use his turn to bleed out quicker.
That's a success, actually, so he's holding on okay. He's doing his best. Rifleman 6 has just been given this order. Looking, he's the only one who can see it right now, and he looks back in the direction of Zale and says, boss, we got the ballista coming back round. And he's going to move to take cover. He's actually going to move out of the way entirely because he doesn't want to get shot by that thing.
That's fair.
Where's he?
And he's right there. And that's the end of his turn. Mr. Zale, it is your turn.
I'm going to stick my head back out the door. Be like, all right. I'm going to post up on this corner and turn around, peek around the corner, and I can sort of see the front of the draft horse / saber-tooth tiger. And I am going to hold an action, and I'm going to cast a spell when it gets within 60 feet.
What spell is that?
Do I have to tell you?
I mean,
Because it's
it's a
if
surprise
a level-
action verb.
if it's a leveled spell, it will be wasted.
That is fine. I will use it at its command.
Command. Okie doke, you got it. End of your turn?
End of my turn.
Alright, next up will be the garage. It's going to start moving 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 40 feet there. Get those guys in, and then dash another 40 feet.
And like as soon as it gets to like here, then it'll be within 60 feet. And I'm gonna cast command on the horse.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell it to roll.
Roll! Okie doke.
Okay.
It's a DC 15 Wisdom save.
It is a horse. Let's see how that goes.
Oh,
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Right off.
+1, motherfucker. Wow, okay, nice. Yeah, I honestly wanted to do that. That's cool as fuck. But the horse hears your command as you tell it to roll, and for a moment it thinks it's going to do that, and then it soldiers on. It is a resolved horse, a stalwart horse, and it carries on through its full movement. But it will actually stop more or less there. And seeing as you stepped out to cast that, one of the dead shots is going to finish the reload for the ballista, popping it into place, and the other one is going to use his action to fire it. At you.
Alrighty. Okay.
I could also use an action to gain advantage, but that would mean waiting another round. No, it's going to shoot you. It rolls a lot of dice, so it takes a little bit. Okay. The ballista shot slams into the corner of the wall near where you're standing, and you jerk back, and the head of this thing, this massive steel head, must be like a pound of metal in that thing, slams through the wall near where your arm is, but you lift your arm and it makes no impact.
Jesus fucking Christ!
Fuck, we missed again! Shit! Other curses ensue. They're not having a great time. Mr. Stromdustkar, it is your turn.
It is, and I do not know what to do. Are there any windows to the back end of the building that I'm in? Like, maybe
Not
one
from the
with a
first
door?
floor, only on the second.
Yeah, the second floor is what I'm looking for.
Okay, yeah, there are windows on the back end. Once you get up there.
Possibly one above the door?
One above the door? Yeah, sure.
Verb, is Mr. Nightstalker still alive?
he's
He
upstairs.
is
Okay.
very minimal hit points.
Is it conceivable if I move to step outside the door, I could misty step through that window and occupy where Rifleman 4 is, but on the second floor?
Yeah, why not? That sounds cool as fuck.
Alright. Then I'll misty step up.
Okay, and you appear there, apparating at this ceiling just above the floor, and you have to land on the ground, 3-point landing right in front of this guy. He looks wide-eyed. Hey, come on, man, let's play it easy. Let's play this smooth. Look, you need fighters, right? Come on. Oh, shit. Roll damage.
He's missing an arm. He's useless.
That's kind of true. Yeah, you execute this man. One sweep of your short sword, and his throat opens up, and a fan of blood sprays down and paints your face. He looks down at the blood pouring out of him, and his eyes roll back up in the back of his head, and he dies right there. That's a real shame. I wanted to do some shit with that guy. I have some cool spells, but it's all good.
I've got about 10 feet of movement left, so I'll just start making my way back towards the stairs, I guess.
Okie doke, artichoke. Night Stalker gets removed from the round. Vistrogar is going to move. At this point, I will make an additional stealth check for him. Not that it matters for you, Akron, because you saw him, but...
As soon as I can see him within 120 feet.
Oh, nice. He is moving. So he was about not far away. Moving 50 feet. You're right there. Okay, yep, you do in fact see him and the approach, roughly in that direction, in the air, and your fireball goes off. Make an attack roll. 28, yeah, that hits. Roll damage.
Fuck him up.
It's that one, plus the other thing. Okay, it's 14.
Alright. Total of 14 damage. As Vistrogar is flying in toward you, he's flying with his body like streamlined, set low, thinking he's being stealthy, and then you pop him, shooting at him, and he sees the fireball coming, and it slams into him, and he veers off course. He's pretty badly hurt now at this point, and he says, "Murder them some other time." And he's going to fly off now, using his action to dash. And he is fleeing the battle.
Can I still see him from where he's gone? Or is he now behind buildings?
Make another perception check. He's gonna actively try to evade sight by dipping in and out of alleys and shit. But 11, no, unfortunately not. And before too long, you lose sight of him, though you keep trying to watch, and he is gone. Alright. Since there's only the ballista left in the rounds, I will, and Strom, you act more or less on the same initiative as the ballista. I will let all of you act right now simultaneously to save time. What would you like to do?
I want to cast command again because I really want this to happen.
Okay, go for it.
I DC
Same
15
command.
wisdom save, please.
You
Roll.
got it. Yep, makes sense.
He sticks his head back around the corner. He just points at it. He's like, "I said roll."
What the fuck? This horse really doesn't want to.
I'm gonna move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and I'm gonna take 2 shots with order at the
Okay,
dead shot on the left.
you got it.
Hex is down, yeah. 16?
16 hits, just barely.
And a 27.
Jeez, yeah, both of those hit.
That's 11 points of damage,
Nice.
and then another 12 points of damage.
12
That's a
points
lot.
of damage.
That's
Good shit. Yeah, you blast into him twice, and he almost loses grip on the ballista, about to fall off of it, and he holds on, breathing raggedly. Pretty badly hurt. Yeah, really badly hurt, actually. These guys took some damage from the Hunger of Hadar earlier, so...
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that's gonna be my turn.
You got it. We're all acting sort of simultaneously here, so
Yeah.
anyone can
I'm
shoot it
just-
whenever.
Can
Double
does
check is fine.
dragging count as an action?
No, it does not, but it doubles your movement cost. So, for every 5 feet you move, it's in fact 10.
So if I dashed, I could move
You could move
25
him
feet.
and yourself 25 feet. Yep, with a dash.
I'm going to hold on.
Things working again now as well. I forgot I turned off some hardware acceleration thing,
Ah,
so I turned it
Nice.
back on, and all is better.
All is well.
nice. Okay, so you're dragging him over there.
Maybe.
Okay.
What was this, guard?
Just
on
a
the-
guard.
yeah.
He's dead now.
Uh,
He wasn't
is-
another dish or anything.
No, I know that.
Does he have
Well-
both feet though?
Yeah, does he have...
Yeah, he does have both feet.
Okay. Can I drag him to the guard?
Okay, go for it.
I can see where this is going already, I think.
10. Yeah, easy enough. You would still have some movement left over.
No, it's fine.
We're just gonna
Okay.
let him do him, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What is it? Is left or is right foot on dish?
His left foot got blown off.
Okay. Can I take off this guard's right foot and try and attach it to dish?
Okay. Make another medicine check for me.
Oh my god.
As you pull out your daggers and get to your bloody work.
19.
19! God damn, I was really looking forward to describing you like fucking hacksawing and smashing, having to break the bone. But finding that perfect seam, you assess the damage on Dish's leg, and you realize that the foot came off a little bit below the ankle joint, which is a little fortuitous. It might mean that you might have some more luck with your fucking insane plan. As you hack off this guy's foot, finding that perfect seam in between where the joints meet and gliding your dagger through. It takes some work. You have to saw through some of the ligaments and tendons, and a whole mess of blood pulls out, but eventually you come away with a pretty cleanly cut foot. And you begin, that'll be your first action here, but your second action, I'll say the medicine check will hold for the the attachment, and we'll get to that next round. Okay, speaking of which, the guard is going to have to make a death save, because he's not been stabilized yet.
He's fine.
Oh, he regains consciousness! He comes back with 1 hit point as all this is going on, and he looks and sees that he is on the ground, laid prone out. Your insane fucking ass is standing over him, and you are busily, like, hacking away at this other guard's foot. He's gonna try to crawl away. 5, 10. It's double movement speed because he's crawling. He's not getting up. He's trying to move this stealthily to evade your attention as he makes his way away, so... it's a dex check. That's an 18. You are so absorbed in your surgical precision mission fingers that you don't notice your friend is crawling. But that's his movement to get there. He's going to action dash 10, 15, 30. And that's the end of his turn. As he's just crawling as quietly as he can. Okay.
Now that that's done,
Shit.
I'm gonna cast Grease over here.
Okie doke. What's the radius on that?
It's 60 feet and it's a 10-foot
Cube.
block thing.
Yeah.
Cube.
10 foot,
So it's,
10 foot cube. Okay. Okie doke.
we'll probably do it like,
So it's 10 feet on each side, right?
yeah. So do you see my? That's like that, basically.
That would be a 20 foot
Nope,
cube.
That's 10 feet.
That's a 10 foot radius, but cubes
on,
refer to
hold
the
on.
side, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Is
they
it
do.
cube or radius?
Yeah, no, it is a 10-foot cube.
But something like that would be able to block the entire street easily enough,
Yeah.
especially
Cool,
for
cool.
something as big as a carriage.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. The ballista. It's gonna take another 2 actions to reload it. And okay, they're starting to see the opposition.
You give up now and come for work for us with that big ballista, we'll let you live.
Deadshots are a slightly different breed of mercenary, but go ahead and make a persuasion check. You're a little more loyal. They understand
that's
the
cool,
value of
man.
reputation. Okay.
Nice story, bro. Give me my mercenaries.
Shit.
One balloon, please.
Alright, this one that's just been shot twice is a little out of it. His head is swimming in pain. He's in no condition to negotiate. But the one on the other side, looking up, standing up beside his ballista, resting an arm on it. Shit.
Come on, man. Highest bidder, right?
Yeah.
Come in this warehouse, we'll take some shit and you can have some as payment up front.
Shit, I saw some of the stuff they were moving.
Let's rob it. Come on.
All right. Just warning you, man. My bosses ain't gonna take too kindly to this. You gotta protect me if you want to be my employer.
Yeah, that's fine. You get paid. You
You
come.
got-
You come fight for us. You can stay near the back line and just ping people off with the ballista.
Sounds good to me, man. All right, let's do this.
Right. Let's do this.
They
End of
stand
combat.
down. End of combat. Yep.
Fuck yes.
Can I continue my surgical stuff?
Yeah, sure. At this point, as you are looking over and you've just removed the foot from this guy, you see Dish crawling away.
I'm gonna make my way into the warehouse and start searching around.
Okay.
So can I sit on Dish with my foot
Yeah.
to keep them in place?
Yeah. You sure can. You sure can. Give me just a moment while I change the music over. Going over to the crawling guard, who is named Michael, and probably still is in his mind, but not in yours. You go over to him, plant your foot on his back, and sit down over him, attempting to pin him down. He struggles, but he's so weak and injured he can't really do much of anything. He looks up at you. Please, man, come on. Come on. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do this.
This is for your own good.
He goes limp. He recognizes that in this case, fighting back will probably not end well. He is at your mercy.
Okay, I like to attach the right foot to his left leg.
Okay.
Oh my
I'll
God.
say your medicine check still holds as you go over this man and you pull out some sewing needles, I guess, that you have, and you line the 2 feet up, and you notice that Michael has like a sort of olive complexion, and the guard you killed is a black man, so the skin tones don't match up at all. It's a little Frankenstein-y. And he's also like, Michael is like a size 11. This man was a size 13, so it like you can immediately see where the seams don't match up, but you do your best, and you run the needle and the line through, and you cut and you pierce and you cut and you pierce. I'm gonna have a Constitution saving throw for Michael as he has to endure this pain, like the fucking worst tattoo anyone's ever gotten. He screams and screams and screams.
hold on.
Doesn't pass out, but
Yeah.
he is deafening you as he's screaming.
Can I backhand him a bit to shut him up?
Yeah, sure.
Oh God.
Yeah, easy enough. In fact, you backhand him so hard he gets knocked unconscious, and you're working in peace now.
Fuck's sake.
Much
Holy
better.
shit.
And you do eventually attach this man's foot to his leg. With no knowledge of medicine whatsoever, it's like a pretty good sew job, but it's non-functional, man. That's just gonna rot all right the fuck off.
He's put the left foot onto the right stump.
Hopefully back.
Yeah, the right, yeah, exactly. He's put the right foot onto the left stump as it happens, and now Michael has 2 right feet.
Better
Love
than
that.
2 left.
I guess that's true. Okay. All right.
Can I drag him back to the main group now?
Sure, you sure can. Takes you some time, but the rest of you are, I assume, filtering into the warehouse.
Yep.
The ballista posts up at the other side of the street. The Deadshot's keeping watch. One of them is going to use an action to apply a healer's kit and regain 2d6 plus 2. Oh, 11 hit points.
Oh
Good
my
for you.
God.
Nice.
And you all stand in this warehouse. You notice as soon as you enter, a lot of the workers are filtering out, running as fast as they can. One of them in this corner is busy hurriedly prying open one of the crates and stuffing gems into his pockets when he turns over his shoulder and sees you. He is like a gnome figure
Leave with
with a
that
long
now.
white beard.
Get out now.
Did you tell him to leave it?
No, just take what now. Just leave. Get out.
Yeah, I can just take it?
Go.
I can take it?
Get out. Go.
Okay, cool. Thank you. And he goes running.
Fuck it. Man of opportunity. I respect that, man.
Yeah, you grab like a big double handful too.
Fair play, I would as well. I'd be out of there with a big stack of cash. Like, see you later, boys.
Fuck yeah, man. Okay. From outside, you see this rifleman here who you recruited. Look, guys, we're gonna want to be quick. They've got task force, response forces all over. They'll be on this place in maybe 5-10 minutes. So whatever you want to grab it fast.
Right, 2 minutes worth of checking then.
Okay.
Okay,
Who
yep,
wants to lead this investigation check?
I will lead it.
Can I help?
Okay. You can do it with advantage because I assume someone would be helping you.
Oh,
I've also got the
25.
glasses that give me advantage.
Oh, nice.
So I'll roll another one because I've got triple advantage now.
That's not how that works. but the 25 is pretty good.
Too late.
It was a 25. But with all of this in hand, you quickly ascertain that not all of these gems are crates. Not all of these crates are gems, rather. A lot of them, you actually notice a lot of war material stashed in here. Crossbow bolts, swords, weapons lined up, getting ready to be shipped out and distributed. Might be of interest, but it's also a little bit too heavy to carry right now. You single out 3 crates. The one that the guard was stealing here, another one that's stamped with the Mardoon symbol, and a third one here that's actually sequestered a little bit away. It's a little bit smaller, more of a lockbox than a crate. Designed to be inconspicuous, but the very fact that it's inconspicuous catches your attention. And you pop it open, and there are diamonds galore in here.
nice.
The other crates are more like semi-precious gems. You see a lot of opal, a lot of jade. One of them is filled with what looks like topaz. a lot of these gems are rough and uncut, meant to be processed, but a good number of them are also extremely fine.
Alright, well, this is the crate we want, right here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just.
Did you say there was an extra cart in here?
There is, yep, an empty carriage right there, leaned up against the wall.
Is it worth us loading that up with everything we can?
But how are we gonna get it out of here?
Sales pretty hefty.
Verb, hear me out. Could I quickly do some maintenance on my force ballista, give it wheels, and make it go fucking 120
No,
miles an hour or something?
0 chance. Not in 3 minutes.
I am a magic man, and that is a
That's
magic
no,
construction.
it doesn't work. For one, the cannon is far too small. It has a base speed of 15.
That's why I give it
no.
wheels.
I mean, I'm just gonna start stuffing my backpack up, filled with as much as I can, essentially.
Actually, I have a bag of holding.
You do?
Yes.
Oh, just start tipping boxes into the bag.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything, all the weapons, all the bolts, everything. Just start tossing it all in.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, get as much as we can in there until it's
So
practically
I guess
full.
what we'll do is we'll start with the most valuable stuff, which I think I can identify, and then we'll kind of make our way down until we have
Well, we've got 2 minutes.
as much as we can carry. in 2
Okay.
minutes.
So we need to.
Well,
All
actually,
right.
in like a minute and a half, let's say.
Okay. You can go ahead and add 200 pounds of uncut gems to your inventory. Actually, I'll write it all out for you.
Yeah, please, yeah.
I've got notes as well. Don't worry.
About 75 pounds refined gems. About 3,000 golds worth of diamonds. So that's your monetary haul. As for the gems themselves, you'll have to get those identified, but that's a lot of fucking gems. Like, a lot of fucking gems.
Yeah.
Could I not just identify them as myself back at camp?
Yeah, sure. It would take you like, honestly, for this many gems, it would take you like a full day because you have to examine each individual specimen and everything. But with your expertise, it would be no issue, no roll needed, just time. As for war materials, we're gonna add 2 crates worth of weapons, worth of ammunition. 1 crate worth of weapons. 1 crate worth of armor. And that is about as much as you're able to fit into your bag of holding, as you are relentlessly pouring crates in as much as you can, and then you come to a point where a sword handle is sticking out, and you have to pull that out and toss it aside.
Right, let's fucking go.
Oop,
Move.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're
Alright.
gone.
All right. Stepping out of the warehouse, you see the dead shots. Look, boss. We'd offer you a ride, but it's a little full up here. Where should we meet you?
Trebain Manor, go there now. Tell them Moorish sent you.
All right, you got it. Hey, you, Gunner, come with us. And the rifleman acquiesces, and they all pile in and make their way away.
Yeah, we've got a saber-tooth ballista.
I told you we're
It's
getting
a
ballista.
horse, but it looks a lot like a ballista. All right,
Okay, big haul, big haul.
nice.
I would
Good
like
shit.
I would like to set fire to the supports quickly.
Okay, yeah, easy enough. Yeah, the fire starts to spread. At this point, I'm gonna roll a d20. Let's see how quick those responders are. A high number means they're faster. They're not very fast. You're fine for now. The streets are still clear, though. You can hear the sounds of shouting and alarm in the distance.
I'm gonna pull out a flare gun,
Okay.
and I'm gonna shoot it the opposite direction of the Trebain Manor.
What color?
Red.
Red. Okay, got it. You shoot out a flare southward, well away from you in that direction, and the trail shoots out in a wide arc.
Like,
Starts to float in the sky.
yeah, I'm gonna like sort of step out into the street and do it like 45 degrees, as if it's, you know, like across rather than up, but you can still see it above the houses.
Yep. Yep. I gotcha. I gotcha. And yeah, it is done.
And I'm gonna loot
Okay,
this
well-
guard here. Do they have any flare guns on them, these guards?
Yeah. Well, no, actually not these ones.
No,
Only
okay.
mercenary captains
Okay,
do.
no worries.
I would like to loot Spell Knight quickly. Does he have
Okay.
anything?
Okay.
It's a Spell Knight, surely.
Make a very quick investigation check.
I think the rest of us. I'm gonna.
Uh,
Let's go.
13.
Yeah.
You see his coin purse clipped to his belt, and that's about as much time as you have to ascertain
I
before
grab it.
you.
I grab it and run.
I'm gonna drop.
Okay,
the
good,
Dara,
good, good.
And leave. Yeah, gone out north. The opposite
All right.
way. I shot the flare.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave my
Very
force blister
quickly-
behind. I'm gonna leave the force blister on. It will shoot at bad guys.
Very quickly, you guys look over your shoulder and see Mish is struggling with this unconscious guard, moving considerably slower than the rest of you.
Leave the cripple, Mish.
I can't leave this.
Just pick him up, Zale, quickly.
Fine. I sling him over my shoulder.
Okay, make a strength check for me, Zale. Let's see if this impedes your movement. You want above, like a 15, DC 15. Buddy, you pick him up over your shoulder.
I'm gonna fumble picking him up and accidentally drop him onto his head, breaking his neck.
Fuck.
I'm basically gonna like faux German suplex him.
Okay. Mish, you have a moment to react as you see Zale's grip start to slip, and the body of Dish starts to move toward the ground.
I would like to try and catch him.
Okay. Make a dexterity check to see how quick you act. You have to beat a 15 on this.
Easy peasy.
Fuck off.
The easiest peasiest, baby. Yeah, you leap and you do a little like running like flying tackle and grab him in midair, and you cradle him in your arms as you hit the ground and slide along, skinning your back on the cobbles.
I'm leaving.
But he is safe in your arms.
I'm leaving. I'm out. Morris.
All right, you
Yeah,
keep
same.
moving.
Yeah. Got it.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Mish, you are being left behind.
I follow as
Mish,
quick as I can, carrying
Mish,
Dish.
leave the cripple. He's not even relevant.
Okay.
Simply slowing our progress.
I wouldn't leave Dish, and he wouldn't leave you.
This is dead, you fucking crazy bastard.
Don't look at him.
Mish, we're leaving. Follow us if you
Okay.
can.
I follow as quick as I can.
Okay.
No, cannon. Leave the cannon there.
Oh, is it remaining?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cannon's remaining. He's gonna shoot the guys, the first responders.
Got it. So Morris, Zale, Akron, and Strom, you guys vanish into the alleys running as fast as you can, and you are effectively off the map. Mish, you've just about gotten to about here where you are, dragging him into the alley. When you hear the thunder of horse hooves on the ground, as a patrol of riders manages to make it.
Okay.
Why is my numbered script not working? Motherfucker. Okay. And they arrive on the scene and they survey the damage. Your force ballista sees them and they see the force ballista. They point it out. What's it doing in this moment, Akron?
Hitting a 24 on that guy.
That guy. Okay. 17 points of force damage. The shot, yeah, it does
Gets
impact as it
knocked.
crunches into him.
He gets knocked 5 feet backwards.
Is just automatically?
Yep, just automatically.
Okay, yeah, the blast takes him in the chest and he is knocked off his warhorse and onto the ground, landing on his feet, skidding back. And the other rider is going to... The horse paws at the ground, preparing, and the rider brings up a lance and he starts to charge toward the cannon, which is... Okay, so that's 40 feet of movement, and he makes the attack. The other rider from the ground blows out his war horn before this charge happens. No, that does not do damage. I don't know why I did that. But, as this other guy's lance attack gets advantage against this thing. And
It
deals
is
an
15
additional...
feet up, by the way.
Yes, the lance is a pretty hefty weapon.
Cool.
The lance has a 10-foot reach, and the horse is also quite high off the ground.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So for a total of 9, 12 plus 16 is 32 points of damage, slamming into the ballista, and well, does the force ballista have stats? It needs to make a strength save.
I don't think it has stats.
Okay, I'll just
Hold on,
roll
but
this for
there was a thing I was gonna do with it on its turn.
12. The ballista is struck by the force of this lance and driven from its place on the wall and falls to the ground, falled over on its back. The other rider is going to take a moment to recover, getting back on his horse. They move, and it's at this point, as this other rider moves in position, that he sees you, Mish, and you look up and you see this.
No, it doesn't.
No?
No, it doesn't see me.
No. Are you doing something, or are you just playing peekaboo logic?
Can I hide?
You. So the way this scene plays out is you are busily dragging Dish behind you, and it slows you down substantially. You're already not very fast. So it's at the moment that you hear the horses in the background that you are where you are now. So I would say you have like 1 turn's worth of stuff to do.
Okay, and 1 turn of movement will get me out of here.
It could get you around the corner from here, which might buy you a little time.
Here would probably be better, wouldn't it?
I mean, either or, sure. They're both corners. Are you dragging Dish with you, or are you abandoning him?
Yes. Dragon
Okay,
Dish.
gotcha. With all of that movement, you can probably get to about here, and that's where you are.
Wait, is this place on fire or anything, or is this?
This area is fine.
Okay. This is a door.
That's a door, yep.
Can I get in there and close the door behind me?
Sure, on your next round.
For
now,
movement for. Fine.
let's see, you were there, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, because you're dragging. Or maybe 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, yeah.
Not like that.
Sure, I can give you that. You can cut the corner. And that would leave Dish right there, but yeah.
Oh, he can't be in with me.
Because you're dragging him behind you as you're moving.
Then there's no real point in doing that.
Up to you.
I'll be outside then.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Alright. Next up, the Black Riders come. Akron, your ballista can get another shot if it wants.
Well, the ballista's actually gonna go 5, 10, and I need 5, 10, and I need the horses and the riders to make a Dex saving throw, 19.
Oh, it has a thing.
It's gonna blow up.
Ah, okay, cool. Okie doke. Let's see if my scripts work. I don't think they will, but we'll see. Saving throw, Dex 19 for a total of 9 damage. Does that save on half or nothing on half?
On
Save
half,
Half on
Half
save.
half damage on a save. Half damage on a save.
Okay, and as expected, my macro's not working. Let me reset that real quick.
Rolled a 1, 1, and a 7 on that. That's about how you going.
Unfortunate. As your cannon, badly damaged by that lancing strike, which struck it through some of the vitals in the machinery, causing a lot of sparks and unhealthy grinding noises to erupt, moves crawling on its last legs to get in the center of their formation and explodes.
Does that sizzle, bang, pop, and everything just within 20 feet.
Mm-hmm. Alright, let's see if that's a little better. Dex 19. 9 half submits. Hell yeah. Hey, they all fail. And it blasts a solid wave of force, radiating out, creating a little crater in the ground where the ballista once stood. The horses whine back, but their armor blunts a lot of the effect, and the riders themselves, although taking some damage from the impact, look very sturdy in their black plate mail. One of them just sort of shakes his head. Tricks. I'll search the alleys. You search the warehouse. The other one nods. Yes, sir. And he's going to move in the other direction. The horse can move up to 60 feet, so they're going to do that. The rider will spur his horse for an additional 30. That's it. And this horseman moves into the alley. At a slow trot. Mish, you hear him approaching. I'll give you the briefest of reactions, just for yourself. I would say dragging the dish behind you would be rather slow, but maybe you only need to hide yourself and maybe the threat will pass. Who knows?
Is Dish unconscious?
Yes, because you knocked him out.
Okay. Yeah, I'll move inside then.
Okay. Managed to duck inside just as the rider approaches the alley and swivels his head around. He sees the unconscious guard. He looks. He sees the chaos, some signs of battle. Bit of blood splatter from when one of you got shot. Rubble strewn around from shots being traded back and forth. Tight confines. He is going to dismount. I'm gonna roll a d20. If it's a 1 through 9, 1 through 10, he's going to move to the left. If it's an 11 through 20, he's gonna move to the right. He moves toward the left, buying you some time. As he dismounts, starts to move in, approaches this door, pulls out a pistol from his holster, and swings the door open, stepping in, sort of room clearing it, and just sees corpses inside. He sort of scans the darkness, sees the stairs in the corner. But he's gonna move back in to check the other building first.
Oh, he's not going to check the full building? What about upstairs? What about over here, Verb?
Not yet,
What
but he's
upstairs?
moving. It was his movement to get that far, so you hear him approaching toward you.
Okay. Is in here pitch black or dark?
It's dim. There is a torch here. I'll say a single torch that casts like a dim light in the area, but there's shadows everywhere.
Can I extinguish the torch and it would be pitch black or very dark?
Yeah, it'd be pretty dark if you did, yep.
Okay, I would do that.
Yeah, easy enough. You go over and... How do you extinguish it? With your hands? With a cloth? I mean, it doesn't matter too much, but...
He clicks it, Burp, with the mouse, and then it goes off. Come on.
How are you extinguishing it? Look.
I'll use my hands and
Okay.
I'll split my hands and
Okay.
and put it out.
Alright, you take 1 point of fire damage as you snuff this thing out with your bare fucking hands and it hurts like
Oh,
hell.
they're covered in spit, so they're fine.
Yeah,
You
but
take
that-
1 point. You take 1 point of fire damage. It's because of the spit, okay? I didn't give you 100 damage. I gave you 1 damage.
They are covered in blood though from his surgical work earlier.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
You still take 1 point of fire damage.
Okay. Am I able to position myself above the door afterwards?
Not really. There's not like anything you can hide on top of or anything.
I can't like Spider-Man it.
I
What if he quickly runs up the stairs, because he's a rogue fighter thing, and then he like jumps out of the top window when the guard walks in?
Well, I was thinking if there's a window to the alley on this floor, can't he just time it as when the guard walks in, he jumps out the window, jumps on a
Yeah,
horse
yeah,
and
yeah.
Oh,
fucking
no.
bolt?
Yeah. That's not a good idea.
I have blind sight dagger thing.
Okay.
This is true. So there are no windows on this first floor here. So
Well, how beefy is this guard?
he looks pretty strong.
And how damaged is he? Is he like
I don't know, dude.
bloody?
He survived an ISIS bombing right there.
Hard to tell. He looks tough. He doesn't look. He's not visibly bleeding or anything, but it's also hard to tell when people are wearing full plate.
Is this the commander or the underling?
This, from what you heard of the exchange, he was giving orders to the other one. So
Is he afraid of rats?
yeah, only one way to find out, I guess.
Okay, I'll hide behind the door, and I will
Okay.
use my hat of vermin to.
Okay.
try and get
Make
a rat
a. When you say hide, do you want to use your action to hide, or do you want to?
I'd like. What kind of helmet is he wearing? Or is he wearing a helmet?
He is wearing a helmet. Yeah, it's like a bassinet with a faceplate down.
Is it easy to get a knife in and stab the eyes?
It would be the same as any other attack roll.
Okay. No, I don't want to hide, but I'd like to be in the corner, sort of out of view if the door's opened.
Okay, yeah, yep, so the hinges, the way they would work is once the door opens, you would be behind it. And you said you wanted to use the Hat of Vermin to create a rat, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. As the guard approaches, footsteps clanging on the cobblestones, the sound of his plate rustling and shifting, he sees what he presumes to be a dead guard on the ground, and then as he gets closer, he sees... Fuck's wrong with his foot? Looks over, he's about there. That's when you release the rat, and it scurries under the door frame and goes out, sprinting out into the daylight. And the guard looks down. Fucking rat. And he's going to stomp it.
So he's not afraid of rats. Okay.
That's a natural 1. He goes to stomp the rat, but his plated foot trips the other foot, and he stumbles a bit in place. And he looks around, makes sure no one saw that, and only the horse did. And then he's fine. But he is currently looking down at Dish, crouching to examine him. Do you do anything, Mish, or are you gonna still wait?
I'll still wait.
Okay. He looks around and sees, though the guard is badly injured, he's breathing. He's alive. He reaches down and backhands him, similar to what you did to him, and that shakes him to consciousness. Just looks up, eyes fluttering open. For the once, he doesn't see this insane fucking gnome standing over him. He says, gods, I'm alive? Yeah, you're alive. Tell me what happened. Crazy... Those guys, the ones who kicking the war off, they came, they hit the warehouse, they did things to me. I don't give a fuck about your trauma. Just tell me where they went. I don't know, I was unconscious. Worthless. Alright, come on, you're coming with me. Picks up the guard, hauls him to his feet, and starts to drag him toward the horse.
Can I reach out as they pass and take the hat back?
Make a sleight of hand check. 17, yeah, easy enough. Reaching a deft hand out. You're a little short, Mish, so you kind of have to jump, and you're a little worried about the sound of your chainmail shifting and catching attention, but somehow you managed to do it, and you swipe the tall red gnome hat off of Dish's head and pull it back into your grasp. And he is Michael once more, I presume.
Yes.
Alright. And from there, the three of them move off on horseback. And you appear to have evaded detention.
Okay. I would like to scarp her.
Okay. And just like the rest of the group, you vanish into the streets of Shady Creek Run as these riders pour over the aftermath.
Pretty big hit, that.
Yeah, good shit. Good shit. Quite a hit. Alright. You are back on the streets, managing to evade attention for now. You see that as you move, I presume sticking to cover, staying out of as much direct line of sight
I'm
as you
going
can.
to disguise myself as
smart
an
man.
old beggar man.
Ah, okay. What about the rest of you? Any particular fanciness you can get up to?
Yeah.
Not really, as I'm a giant man in a suit of armor.
Okay. Alright, fair enough.
I'm very inconspicuous.
Yeah, moving through. Morris,
Yeah,
why don't you
I'm
go ahead and
going-
make a perception check for me as you sort of, with the cover of your disguise, you're moving through. And what was that, Akron?
I'm gonna pull the hood over, so it's gonna completely obscure the horns, which are not sticking outwards but backwards, and the face.
Okay, gotcha. Easy enough. Draping it as low as your face as you can to keep yourself covered. Morris, with the anonymity afforded to you by your disguised self, you're able to act in a more proactive role, keeping out of alleys and such, and sort of waving the group forward when it's clear. And as you're moving through, you see, well, just a lot of people gearing up and moving out, heading in the sound of the disturbance. Before too long, looking back the way you came, you see a dozen, 2 dozen, 3 dozen motley soldiers swarming around the area. Looking up at one point, you see a figure flying through the air, distant and small, but you saw enough of the goblin to think that that's probably him, up to his old tricks,
Following away.
but away from you.
Okay. Do I recognize any figures of importance within these motley crews?
With a 24 perception, when you say figures of importance, how do you mean exactly?
One that seems to stand above the rest.
Let me check something real quick.
Sorry, that goblin, Astro, didn't I do like a crazy history check on him last session?
Yeah, you did.
Did you?
I think I did, because
Yeah.
I remember you explaining that he viciously murders people with 2 daggers in many different ways,
Yeah, he did roll a
and that
good.
he's like an assassin who just works for the highest bidder or something.
Something like that. Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds familiar. So yeah, you do know of him, or at least of his reputation. Looking through this crowd, Morish, you see one particularly tall, sort of imposing, like very well-built half-orc man who's moving through. His armor, he's wearing like half-plate armor with an odd motif where it's red in the center but fading out to like a light frosty blue on the outside. And he's moving toward the chaos, but his weapons are not drawn like the rest. And he has a small band around him, all moving with a slow but steady purpose. And that's what draws your attention most. You see a lot of like human mercenaries, human half-orc, humanoid, moving through. A lot of gruff Shady Creek Run types. Most of the mercenaries around these parts are very low caliber, and that's the sort you've been fighting for the most part. But that guy, that half-orc, he looks interesting.
He's something else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck. I really want to try something, but I don't know if it's worth it.
Tell me, baby, what do you want to do?
I want to dip off into an alley and change to look like a mercenary and just kind of blend in with them.
Just take off your disguise.
Do you want to do that?
I don't know.
You're 1, decked out, and 2, not as well known as Zale and Katu.
I mean,
Also,
I've
just
been
take-
recognized. I have
Just
been
take off
recognized.
your goggles and you'll be fine.
I haven't got goggles on anymore. They're gone. I gave them to Ishior's, and he died with them.
Okay.
Let me see. What? I mean, I'm not actually that tapped when I look at it. Okay. Fuck it. Yeah, I'm gonna sort of observe to see if there's any kind of uniform among any of the bands. Oh, the
Okay.
less reputable ones. The more, the standard Shady Creek Run denizens.
Yeah, you see much less like in the form of like uniforms, but they all have some sort of identifying insignia. You see one particular group that have all their faces have this sort of like spiderweb tattoo engraved on some part of their face, a cheek, the forehead, an ear even, like with a sort of radial pattern that then extends into the side of their heads. You see another group that has all at some place on their clothing or armor a sort of red band tied around, and you see the red band is inscribed with this sort of pattern to it. It's roughly like floral viney pattern. Things like that. But no, for these groups at least, they don't have the money to afford standardized equipment, so they make do.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna go back to the party real quick and just like say I'm thinking about maybe just disguising myself and tagging along with those mercenaries for an hour and seeing what I can see.
If I'm honest, that sounds like a terrible idea.
It does, doesn't it? But it might net us some good information, and I can get the fuck away if I need to, maybe. What do you think?
Just don't die.
To be seen. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna disguise myself as a balding human male.
Okay.
In sort of scrubby leather armor. Gonna make my sword look still like a rapier, but a bit more shit. And
Okay.
with a red band on my arm with the floral pattern on it.
Alright, you got it. Akron, Zale, Strom, and now Mish.
Can I very silently like give him guidance?
It only lasts for a minute, but sure.
Oh no. I mean, that's still more than no time.
I guess so, yeah. Okay. You feel a little burst of invigoration enter your body, Morish. The rest of you, what are your plans?
Well, how hot are the streets that we're moving? Like, if we're moving away from those bands that are now gathering behind us. How hot are the streets ahead of us if we're moving outward?
So currently, I'd say you're about like 10 minutes of walking so far, and still pretty hot. But Yeah, still pretty hot. Pretty much everywhere you look, there's at least one band of armed troops. Most of them moving in the direction of the place you came, or moving toward the place you came. A few just sort of standing by on alert.
Where is the nearest library? That's a safe place. No one goes in libraries anymore.
If that's a serious question, you can make a history check for me, bud.
It definitely is. Okay, I rolled a 3, but I got a 16.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Shady Creek Run, not the best place to find scholars or learned individuals. Uh, like public libraries, none at all. People just fucking steal everything. Your best bet is like a local family. They often have their own libraries, but you're not gonna find anything on the street level.
Okay, well, let me be more serious then. Any locations that I know of that I've frequented that have minimal traffic that's close by?
Places with minimal traffic that are close by. With that 16 still holding. Yeah, I assume you're looking just for a place you can lie low, yeah?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, okay. There's all sorts of like sort of seedy little flop house kind of places, like Our Motel kind of things, where you can rent a place and probably expect a reasonable amount of discretion. Issue is, you're wanted men. It's kind of a shit show whether or not they'll actually, like, not immediately report you.
Well, I mean,
You're not
even
sure how well your
even
reputation is.
even a discreet alleyway will do. Hey, we're not picky at the moment.
Sure, sure, sure. Okay, moving through. You sort of bury yourselves as deep as you can into the warren of the streets, and eventually you find yourselves moving sort of within a network of side streets and side connections, little offshooting paths leading to nowhere. Not exactly like a city board of directors for Shady Creek Run to determine where things go. So you do manage to find a little dead-end nook deep within this area. Reasonable expectation you might not be seen, but you have your eyes on the skies, and in the distance, looking up, straining your eyes, you can see a small formation of shapes moving in. You think they're just birds at first, and they get closer, and they get closer, and oh, those they're birds, but they're very big birds, and there are people on the backs of them, and they are watching. For this immediate moment, you think you're secure, but you don't know how long that'll last.
Shit. I mean, is it worth us staying on task and trying to think of someone else to recruit or somewhere else to get funds?
We need to lay low for the time being. Because we are probably going to be reported. How far away are we from, like, allied, quote-unquote, territory?
The only allied territory that you hold at the moment would be the Trebain Manor itself, and you're on the opposite side of town from there.
What about neutral territory? Like,
Neutral territory.
I know off table, but like, if we went to see someone like, what are they fucking called? Is it the Taskers, part of the Grudge Gang?
The Taskers, yeah, sort of a law-keeping organization around town.
How far are their HQ from where we currently are?
Their headquarters is in Central Clover. As the crow flies, you're not too far. Question is how easily you could get there, but it's a hell of a lot easier than the manor.
Another
say we go for that.
suggestion. Another suggestion. So, Verb, the people that Akron works alongside for,
Yeah.
surely there's a bunch of discreet safe houses all over the run, or in parts of the run, for agents?
You talk about those names that you were given by Eleanor, yeah?
No. The people that Akron works
Oh, okay, yep. Yep, I hear that. There'd be
with,
a
like, safe
few.
houses.
Yeah, there'd be
How
a few.
How far away?
That's an interesting one. Let's
Should we
say
roll a 20 and hope for a high number, or?
Yeah, that seems fair, because I don't have anything pre-established. 1d20. You want a high to medium number. That's medium. Actually, as as I don't know if Strom actually says it, but as Strom is thinking of the taskers, your head starts to churn, Akron, and you think, yeah, the taskers' headquarters, Central Clover, like maybe a 20-minute walk, probably longer if you're stealthy, but right around that area there is a safe house, one that you know of.
I'm going to say to Strom in Undercommon, the taskers could work, Strom, but there's a more discreet, secure location close by.
Are we playing Undercommon? How close are we talking?
How close are we talking about?
Like within 2 minutes of each other, like
Like-
just short of across the street.
That could work.
Practically across the street.
Yeah, let's go there then.
Zale and Mish, you watch this exchange, this sort of harsh, guttural language being shared between Akron and Strom.
Oh wow!
Oh,
wow!
The corn noise. Oh, wow! Nice.
I don't know what he said, but god damn it, I'm in.
Strom, I know the way. It is over there.
The noise of sheer charisma.
Undercommon is just Ugandan knuckles.
Cannon. Okay. Morish, you blend in with the crowd pretty well, taking the face of just another human, falling in line with this group of armband men, running through, picking up pace pretty quickly, moving. It's not long at all before you reach the scene. And it's a little surreal, kind of, seeing a battlefield that you created, but from the alternate perspective. And you see that those two knights, well, you didn't see the two knights, but Mish did, have sort of taken up ownership of the area, standing tall on the backs of their horses, directing the various crowds of mercenaries. You go here, you go there, you set up a perimeter, you search north, you search west. And finally, that knight looks up to your group, and he looks to the leader of this band, which is a human woman, very tall, very broad-shouldered, kind of like a Katsu type build, very muscular with a great axe slung over her shoulder. And Knight looks at her. Rita, you're gonna need to go. I'm pretty sure they went that way. That's what this guy's telling me. I want you on the front line. But what about the scene? What about the loot? Not for you. That's not what we agreed on. Get bent, bitch. Go. And this woman simmers, her face just a mask of discontent, but she nods, and she starts to move, and she raises an arm and directs the group. Come on. Back where we came, boys. And they start to move off away from the scene, but you're looking around, Morish. Is there anything in particular that you're looking for, that you have this time to survey the scene? You see roughly like 60, 70 men here, all in all.
Just gauge 70 men.
Yes.
And the name of the woman was Rita?
Rita.
Rita.
R-I-D-A.
Rita.
Read a book.
Morish, do the riz. No, I fear the dice will betray me.
Just do the dice properly. Don't worry.
Just roll high numbers. Come
Just
on.
don't fuck
Easy.
up. Like easy, dude. It's if you fail, it's a skill issue. NGL.
Yeah, exactly. You just didn't roll the dice well enough. Ooh, a disgruntled employee. Yeah, that's one thing. I'm gonna wait until we're a bit away from the scene. And as we're running, I'm just gonna ask whoever's next to me, like, who's that?
Who's that? Like, the knight?
Yeah. Like, I'm new.
Yeah, just some Jagantoth big shot just rolled in a couple days ago. He started calling the shots like right away. Kind of an asshole if you ask me. I don't know his name. They call themselves the Black Riders. Real edgy shit, right?
That's
Kind of stupid.
Kind of stupid. Yeah, we've got a much better
Yeah.
thing going on.
Yeah. He narrows his eyes at this. It's another human man, kind of young but with old eyes.
Okay. I'm just gonna keep jogging. Pay no mind.
Got another thing going, huh? He sort of whispers under his breath.
No. Like, this thing we have going is better than theirs.
Oh, I see. I
Yeah,
see.
yeah,
I
yeah.
see. Yeah, okay, I get what you mean now. Yeah. Alright. The group's moving through, heading north. And so at this point, Akron and the group has ducked off into an alley, but they're still around the same general area. Just tell us to go north. And this is Rita speaking, the tall woman. North, just look for them. I'm not a fucking tracker. What does he expect me to do? Piece of shit. Alright. Fan out. Spread in groups, 2 or 3. Hit those alleys. You go there. You go there. And she starts pointing men out. Fuck this noise. And you are directed to move into... Well, it's all alleys here, man. You're sort of one between a stone building and a set of shanty huts along the side there.
Once everyone starts heading off, is Rita staying where she is?
Yeah, she's standing by with a couple of people.
I'm gonna a couple of people.
Yeah, bodyguards, they look like.
Oh no, they always travel in groups of 3. What are you gonna do?
I know, right? I'm gonna lag behind a bit and spin on my foot. Once they're a bit away, and I'm gonna walk up to Rita. And I'm gonna go, boss, is this really worth it?
She narrows her eyes. What do you mean?
Well, so much better than this. Searching through streets, we don't know where they are. We could do so much more.
Look, man, I hear you, but we kind of have to take what we can get right now.
Well, I may have heard of something. I went for a piss in the alleyway just before everything kicked off. I've heard the other group are hiring.
She crosses her arms, leaning back. Make a deception check.
Oh.
Yeah.
Come on.
Nice.
You never fail, Morris. One of these days, I'm gonna get you, bitch.
Fuck, man.
Narrowing her eyes at this. You're telling me you just happened to go for a piss and just happened to overhear this thing? You're telling me you haven't been scooping around the alleys, the taverns?
I mean, I'm just looking out for
You
the
just
benefit.
happened to hear this coincidentally?
Come on, boss.
Yes.
Yes. There's a lot of chatter going around town at the moment. People are talking.
What's your name again? My God, this has gotten so big, I can barely remember everyone. Who hired you anyway?
I'm Trevor. I'm new around here. I don't remember his name.
You're Trevor, huh? Alright, Trevor. Since you seem to know so much about this, well, you tell me, what exactly are they offering? And just mind you, and she waves the bodyguards off. You fuckers didn't hear anything, alright? Just so you know, even talking about this shit is a pretty big offense in the professional world. You look, and she looks at your balding head. You look too old to be this green, man, but I'll hear you out. What have you heard coincidentally from this alleyway, Trevor?
I've heard they're paying lots of money, and they allow you to keep whatever you kill.
Yeah, that's what the fucking riders promised too, and look how that's going.
Well, I mean, there'll be a lot more of them to kill than, like, the riders to kill than their group, from what I've heard.
Yes, that's true. But look, I'm not in the business of fighting losing battles. And that group? They're small. They're so fucking small. The Jagantoths could crush them in their fists.
And
They're
yet,
nothing.
And yet they haven't. And they've tried, and tried, and tried, and tried. These people
look at the
scare me,
scene around
boss, and I'd rather be on their side than the Jagantoths. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You really feel that way, huh?
I do, boss. I'll do what you tell me to do, don't get me wrong. And I'll be loyal till the end. To you.
Alright, Trevor. Alright. I don't suppose you've heard of a place where a meeting could be arranged?
I know they hang out around the Trebane Manor. If we maybe approach weapons away and calmly, they might hear us out.
I can't be seen by anyone with this, but I'll send someone out. And maybe they'll give me a little more concrete terms. Look, I hear you, man. I don't like this situation either. I don't like being bossed around. I don't like being demeaned. Doesn't mean I'm about to throw it all away on a chance, but we can at least see what they're about. Now go on, get out of here.
Right you are. I salute and then walk off.
And you head into the alleyway,
I head into the
joining the
alleyway.
other two that you were assigned with.
And then
Sorry?
the moment I get a chance, I'm going to dip into a silent bit, drop the disguise, and bring it back up. So I've got another hour on it.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Easy enough.
And then, yeah, I'm just going to get searching.
Alright. Yeah. Roll a d20 for me. A low number means you stumble onto them. Akron screw. Okay. Okay. Akron, you and the others have just about formulated your plan, and you're actually heading off in the direction of the safe house, cutting through the alleys, using your own mental map as best you can because you're a smart fucking man and you apparently know this street very well. And you're just moving through, trying to keep Zale and Mish as quiet as you can with their heavy armor, when suddenly a group of 3 men walk into you. 2 humans and a half-elf. The human, one human off on the left side with a sort of balding head, the other one a young-looking guy with blonde hair and cold blue eyes, and the half-elf with reddish hair. Looks like he fucked a bunch of Scotsmen or something, or his mom fucked a bunch of Scotsmen or something. And here they stand in front of you, and there's a moment of, holy shit, and then weapons are drawn.
Wait, Zale, it's me.
I'm going to say you have 5 seconds to surrender.
It's fucking who?
Put your
And one of the
Define me,
boys,
define me.
Put
I'm
your
mid-swing.
weapons down.
Define
Trust me. Trust me. Trust me, we don't want to hurt you. Put your weapons down. And I'm pointing to the 2 guards that I'm with, like the 2 mercs that I'm with.
are you?
Cheech and Chong, you've been undone. You have 5 seconds to drop your weapons. Surrender.
Drop your weapons, please.
And I'm going
Make
to
a persuasion check,
fireball.
Morish.
19.
19. The 2 grunts look at each other. They're just basic bitch mercenaries. They have only one of them has a sword. The other one has just like a particularly heavy piece of wood with like a knot on the end. And, okay. And they look up at your group with this heavily armed, and the weapons fall.
Look. I've just been speaking to Rita. I'm going to drop the disguise. It's me. Look, I told you, I've just been speaking to Rita. We're looking to hire you. We're going to pay you more than the Dragontoths. And now we've set up a meeting, and you can tell them that we didn't kill you on sight, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
You let us go?
Look, we're going to go back. Everyone chill out. I've made a deal. Ish. We're going to set it up. More allies for the cause. Okay?
More dish?
More dish. Mish. Exactly. Everyone just needs to just chill the fuck out for a second, okay? And I'm just going to explain to them what I said to Rita, basically.
Okay, and everyone is up to speed now.
Are we being watched?
Make a perception check. You don't think you are.
Okay, so let's head back to Rita. I'm going to put my disguise back up.
Before they leave, the guy with... Do you say one of them had a really shit, like, club with a nail in it?
Yeah, just not even a club, it's just a piece of wood that happened to form with like a heavy knot on one end.
Yeah, can I just go in the bag of holding, maybe take one of the swords we just looted out and throw it to that guy? Just as like a bit of a down payment, act of good faith, bit of an upgrade.
Oh shit, that's actually pretty nice. I can just have it?
More of that where it comes from. Let's go and speak to your boss, okay?
Alright.
You vouch for
cool.
us, yeah? You vouch for us?
Yeah. Alright. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And they go on their way, casting glances back at you for a while before eventually taking a turn and vanishing out of sight.
I would be going with them
Okay.
in my disguise.
Then we would be continuing on to the safe house.
Oh,
Okay,
did you tell
gotcha.
me? Where are you going? I'm gonna actually before I leave. Yeah, where are you not going?
Safe house?
Where?
Across the street from the Taskers HQ.
It's in Cloverfield.
Central Clover.
Central Clover. I would love to give you an address, but there are no signs. Look for the Taskers, but don't go into the Taskers. Instead, walk down the street, take a right. It will be the first house in the 5th alleyway on your right.
Okay. I assume that's what it is.
Easy enough, yeah.
And yeah.
You're not stupid, Morris. You figure you probably
Yeah,
be able to remember
I've
that.
got above average
Yeah.
intelligence.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're good.
I'm
You're good.
gonna just to make sure you don't fuck this up. Walk past the taskers.
Yeah, I got it.
Fifth alley,
I'm gonna
first
press the
house on the
digitation.
left.
I'm gonna press the digitation, a little explosion in his face, and then walk off.
Easy.
Well, that's just rude.
So is being a condescending piece of shit.
Yes, sir.
Not my fault I'm the smartest man in the party. What?
That used to be me.
What sad days those were.
Yeah, the 12 intelligence was the highest we had on the party.
I was so strong back then. Gods.
I know. Gods, I was strong.
Gods, I was smart.
So good.
Okay, go on.
And Morris, you said you were going with the other two, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
I assumed everyone was going to come along and
Fuck
like
that,
meet
no.
with Rita.
Which isn't she stood amongst the crowds of like 70 other fucking dudes?
No,
at
no,
the
no.
minute?
They're in alleyways, away from it all. They've been told to search elsewhere.
Okay, problem with that. There are griffin riders after us. There is a crazed goblin after us.
okay.
We are well known. Fuck that.
Fair enough. I'll set up a meeting.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Who is going to head this sort of travel through the alleys? I'll need them to make a stealth check, whoever that is.
Strom.
I can do it.
Myself or you, Highlander.
I'll do it.
Either one.
Okay. Strom, go ahead and make a stealth check with advantage.
I will give him guidance.
Okie doke. So
Roll a
21's
D4.
pretty damn good. 4. Let me roll a few perception checks because you have people looking for you.
He has a 25.
Nice. Ooh,
You
wow.
just roll really well on guidance, Usty.
Thank you. Thank you.
You do. It's literally like a 3 or 4 every single time.
Yeah. Except that one time was like a 1, but.
I mean, but most of the time it's been.
7 is also a 20. That's with advantage, one of those. But hard to beat a 25. Let me roll a couple more.
I can make him. I can make it a 30 if you want.
Alright, yeah. Strom, you melt into the alleys with ease, and find the perfect routes through. At this point, the time is dipping down towards like late afternoon. The sunlight is still strong, but the shadows are getting longer, and you're using that to your advantage as you make your way through. And eventually, you see the HQ of the Taskers from the mouth of one alley on a fairly wide, intersecting into a very wide street. And you notice the streets are actually carrying your head left and right. Pretty deserted is not the right word for it, but the traffic is notably lessened, at least in this area.
Okay.
And you move your way through, and eventually you get to that safe house that Akron was talking about. It's a nondescript looking stone building, 2 stories tall. The second story is the one you're looking for. There's a little like sort of fire escape type structure hanging out over one side. Akron, there's like a pole chain to one side, but you know there's a certain pattern that you have to pull it on. You don't just bring it down. You give it a tug once, you wait 2 seconds, you tug it twice more, wait another second, and then tug it one last time. And then a little ladder falls down, opening the way. You climb up it, and there is a simple steel door with no handle at all that you can see. But you press your hand up against it, and after a moment the door swings open, and you are led into a very austere kind of space. It's kind of like a dormitory or a bunk room. Very simple furnishings. There's a row of bunk beds along the side. 4 bunk beds for a total of 8 cots in total. There's a crate in the a couple of crates in the corners. One of them is propped open, and looking inside you see a bunch of rations. You see a weapon rack in one corner, though all the weapons are gone. And a simple table, wide enough to fit about 8 people.
Okay, here we are. We should be fine here for a time.
That should do nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Start identifying the gems.
Okay.
Shut up, you're not here.
I know.
All right.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to immediately just take all the stuff out that we looted. So it's the 1 crate of armor, the 1 crate of weapons, the 2 crates of ammunition, the 300 gold worth of diamonds, which I will put on a table to identify, and then
Three-
all the gems as well.
That's 3,000 gold worth of diamonds.
Yeah, 3,000 golds worth of diamond, yeah.
Big. So big.
Yeah, that's a lot of fucking money. You just hit an entire fucking Mardoon caravan, basically.
And we'll fucking do it again.
Yeah, what?
We'll do it again.
Okay, so for the night, I will allow you to identify up to 50 pounds worth of materiel between the gems or the weapons.
Let's go the gems.
The gems. Did you want to go for the refined or the uncut?
Oh, there's different kinds.
Yeah, we got
Okay,
200
Yeah, you
pounds of uncut and 75 pounds of refined.
Did we get 20? I don't. Oh, I see there. 200 pounds. Oh, it was
Yeah.
hidden.
I got it all written down.
Okay, let's go refined first.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna update that list. 200 pounds uncut gems, and now you're down to 25 pounds of refined gems because the other 50 is done. Refined gems.
Do you want me to post it to you what I've got, Verb? Because I've got it all written down.
No, he put it in the roll 20.
He did, didn't he? Yeah.
I did, yeah. I'm just reposting it for I don't know why, but I'm doing it. Okay, so roll a D100 for me, Usti.
That's pretty
83.
good.
Yeah, sifting through these, at first you think, well, they're very pretty gems, very valuable, and then you look through and you hold them up and pulling out your lenses for even finer detail. These are some extremely well-crafted gems, absolutely exquisite. You can tell that some master jewelsmith has gone over these with painstaking detail and effort. You estimate just these 50 pounds that you have here, which is a lot of fucking gems. Like, you lay them all out on the table and they spread out in a fine little mountain that would be proudly appearing in any treasure hoard. That's probably like 17 grand worth of gold right there.
Holy fucking shit.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew this was a good
17
idea.
17 grand. All right.
So that will pay for
Everything. That'll pay for the war.
We
Let's
can
just
we
help.
can we can get. Okay. Well, I'm gonna keep that to myself for the time being. I want to identify all the stuff first to get a full number,
Okay,
which might take a few days.
fair
But
enough.
we don't know how long it's gonna take for the absolute fucking riot outside to calm down.
Yeah, yeah. There is one single window here in the safe house that has a shutter that can be drawn, and looking through it periodically, you occasionally spot large groups of gangs roving through. As the light starts to dim further and further, torches are lit, and you can see them out in the distance, spreading out through the city. Just pinpricks of flame in the darkness, moving and roving almost constantly. It's rather eerie.
Hmm.
Are you all waiting it out tonight, or are you planning to do anything else?
Akron's gonna just keep redoing the gems and stuff. I don't know what the other guys are doing though.
Okay.
I mean, I'm still with the other lot, aren't I?
Yeah,
Yes, actually, that's true.
I will just take this time to take a short rest.
You got it.
Make it a long teehee.
We'll see
Can
how
I-
the night goes.
Can I put Dish's hat on my talking doll and have meaningful conversations through the night?
Yeah, sure. It's extremely insane and demented, and kind of leaves the rest of you feeling mildly disturbed to be sharing presence with this man.
Do I have silence as a spell?
I might take a short rest as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Morish,
Yes.
going back in time a little bit, you peeled off with the other two, and as you're moving through, both of them are looking at you. Holy shit! You're that guy. You're the elf.
Yes.
you're-
That's me. The one. Yes. The one in that group that did all of that stuff.
Why? Did like
Why what?
going up against all those? You killed Darko. You.
Yeah. He tried it with us, and we killed him. That's
What?
how it goes.
But why?
Because he tried it with us, so we killed him. I don't know. Look, man. We went to. Fuck. How long have we got here to talk? Because I'll go through it with them.
For the moment, you're under the pretense of just searching the alleys, so you really have until you get recalled back.
Okay, then I'll from the top. We met this.
It takes a while.
Yeah, we got his. I got his letter, basically.
Yeah, and towards the end of it, you're actually getting kind of into it more. It's like recounting the story, going through your travels and everything, and these two are listening, rapt and spellbound. And after the tale ends, they're both looking wide-eyed at this whole procession of events and the flurry of chaos you got yourself wrapped into.
So as you see, it all started with that damn fucking letter. I wouldn't be here if they didn't take my ring. I'd be gone by now. But, you know.
Shit. Well, you should know, like, word on the street is, like, you all came here with an agenda. Like, you wanted to tear everything down and burn the whole city and like...
It didn't start like that. We initially worked with the Trebanes and the Dragontoths. Quite well, actually. But, you
Until
know...
we decided, fuck it, we're gonna kill them now,
well,
because
I mean,
shrug.
So the Trebanes, as I mentioned, they sent an army after us, so then I called the Dragontoths in, and that's how that relationship started, and it was very nice until... You know, they're not really nice people, let's be honest. Slavers who hire people who hire slavers and that sort of stuff, so, you know. And that's why we're trying to recruit people instead of kill, because, you know, it's not...
Did you really kill an entire brigade of mercenaries with just 7 people?
I mean, it technically was 11, there was 4, but yeah, I mean, there was a big lot of them.
By the gods.
Roland of Zadash, I don't know if you've heard of him, he was there.
Yeah, I've heard of him. I've seen his work too.
Well, he's dead. We killed him.
I see that.
So
Yeah, their eyes are very wide. They're going through this. They're thinking it out. And you wanna get our boss in on this. You want us on your side, huh?
well, she seems pretty aggravated with how she's being treated by the old Jaggies, and so she'll be better treated with us. And you know, we just hit a Mardoon gem warehouse, and we took a lot, and I mean a lot.
Now there's a light of greed entering his eyes.
So, you know, well compensated. And I would like you to portray this to reader so we can have a healthy working relationship. Because I don't want any of you to die. As evidence when I could have let my friends cleave you to pieces, which they would have done. Let's not fuck about here.
Yeah,
One of them is very stabby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard stories about the big ones. They don't leave a lot of people left to tell the stories.
Well,
Let's just say it's all third hand.
Yeah, well, I mean, as one of my friends like to say, everyone who's worked with us is better off. Everyone who's worked against us is dead.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What are we ourselves right to? But
You're
okay.
getting yourselves into a war, my man. And you want to be on the winning side. Which is going to be us. Because we have some I know they do as well, but we have some very powerful people.
It feels like their capacity for comment is kind of exhausted. This is a lot over their individual heads. Well, I guess we'll see what the boss has to say.
Yeah, I mean, once we get called back, let's do it. And, you know, you can say I've been talking to you this whole time. I'll drop it and we'll talk fresh. You can say exactly what happened.
Alright, sounds fair. It's another 20, 25, 30 minutes before you hear the sound of a horn being blasted, and one of the guards tugs your shoulder. That's the signal.
Let's do it.
And you make your way back out through the alleys. And emerging onto the street, the rest of the group comes in, are in 2s and 3s, converging around Rita, who now stands on this mound of rubble from some kind of building that collapsed, so she has a height advantage over the rest. Did anyone see anything? And the 2 guards
I gestured
to left and right. What do you do?
I
Sorry.
gestured to them to, like, go.
Okay. Yeah, they look at you at the shoulder, and then they see that gesture of approval, and then they step forward. Yeah, you could say that, boss. And they both look back at you, and Rita looks over at you and recognizes you. You
Hi.
again, huh, Trevor?
Yeah, I'm gonna drop my disguise.
A collective, like, there's no sound, there's no like gasp of surprise or anything, but you hear the sound of, well, perhaps like 24 people shifting on their feet, heads turning, looking at you, and
I'm assuming I'd have gotten
multiple
their names.
hands.
I would have gotten the two guys' names by now, who I'm with.
Yeah, the guy on your left, the like Scotsman-looking half-elf, is named Red, fittingly,
Red.
and the other one goes by G.
Red and G. So,
Red.
let's say Red, G, go ahead.
Red steps forward first. Yeah, he's the guy. He's the elf. And Rita, tall, imperious, muscular. Trevor, huh?
Yes, sorry.
No
about,
wonder you were talking that big game.
Sorry about that. I mean, I didn't see any other way of broaching the subject. And I figured if I came to you, you would all just have attacked me immediately. And so now I have evidence that I come in peace. With...
You know, I don't really take being lied to kindly.
And it will be the first and only time I lie to you, Rita.
Crossing her arms, leaning back. You too. What did he tell you? And Red, taking a step forward, slightly away from you. Well, he told me everything that's happened. I mean, I don't know if we can... He looks again, looking back at you as he takes another step forward, out of melee reach now. I don't know if we can believe everything the Jaggies have been saying, but if he's not lying, they're not the murderers and chaos causers that everyone's saying they are. Yeah, okay, what does that matter? What do they have to offer us? A lot of gold. Well, you know, they hit the warehouse, and man's bragging about all the gems he's got. We could get a taste of that. Martoons are pretty tight-fisted.
That man's brand new
I-
sword there as well.
Yeah, I got this sword. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a pretty nice sword.
Look, I'm willing
Well-
to offer you an upfront payment if that makes things smooth over quickly. Or we could have a little meeting. It's up to you.
Payment helps. What do you have to offer?
I pull out 25 platinum.
25 platinum. She looks at the coins in your hand. What, do you expect me to spread that around between all my men?
No, I expect that for you at the start, and then we'll pay your men once I get my hands on some of the stuff we just robbed.
We kind of do things on a, I don't know if you've ever known how a revelry ship operates, but it's a little unethical for the leader to take only their slice.
Okay, no, that's fair.
Double it. Double it, and we talk.
40.
Alright. Well, I know you've got other... I know you're a little flush right now, so I know you can offer more than this. Just up front. And she takes the coins and immediately presses one coin into the hand of each man, leaving her with a decent pile of about 6 coins to herself, which she pockets.
How many men has she got?
You're looking at around like 30,
Fucking
32.
hell, I thought it was like a dozen. Okay. Cool. Big start. Jesus, I would have offered more if I'd have known that. Yeah, I mean, I'll give her the full fucking 50.
Alright. Alright. This talk you were talking about.
Yeah.
When are we doing that?
I've been shown a warehouse, safe house in town, or we could do it tomorrow at the Trevane Manor, whatever's easier for you to get to without suspicion being raised upon you.
Well, right now we're any band of Jagantoth mercenaries like any other. Tell you what, got more business to take care of. I'll meet you there at the manor tomorrow.
Tomorrow early?
Noon.
No, we've got a meeting at noon. I'd say like after breakfast.
It's
Noon.
very rapidly turning into a corporate simulator where you
about-
have
Second breakfast, though,
Second.
Noodle.
What about second breakfast? 11sies.
What about second protein shake?
Okay.
Sorry, Karen. What have I got on this morning?
Fuck it,
Please
lunch.
let me know
Yeah,
about
fuck
that.
it, noon. We'll do noon. Yeah, no, let's go.
Noon. All right. I'll see you there,
See you there.
Moorish.
Catch you later, Rita. I'm gonna back out while being wary enough to keep eyes on them until I can slip out the way, bring up the old man disguise, and begin heading back to the safe house.
All right. Relatively unaccosted moving through, eventually making your way to the location that Akron described to you. And you come to this alley and you see the same fire escape structure that they did, but the ladder is no longer like down. You see a chain hanging from it, and you gather that's probably some kind of mechanism. Akron, you did see Morris coming in. Well, actually, you just saw an old man tottering off the street and then coming to stop in the alley.
Can I drop a toilet on his head?
A toilet?
No, I'm kidding. I would have recognized his disguise because I've seen it.
You've seen his,
disguise,
you've seen
right?
my old man
Is
disguise.
this-
Yeah, it's the same old man
Okay, it's the
disguise.
same old man.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, okay. In that case, you would recognize it as Morris.
I would have recognized it.
I have like standard. I'll have a standard old man disguise until it gets spotted, and then I'll change the old man disguise.
God damn.
Welcome to hell, Verb.
Hey, I've been on the other side. I know how fun it is, so
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hold it against you too much.
I fucking love this spell.
It's so fucking good.
While still identifying the gems. Someone let Morish in with the ladder, please.
I'll get it.
Yeah, I climb up.
The ladder drops. Strom greets you. You make your way in, relatively without hassle.
More potential allies.
How many?
About 30.
Shit.
Yeah, more men. Antoinette said we need men to hold the line, and that's what I'm trying to do.
It's not fucking
Rita
work.
and her gang, I've paid them 400 gold up front. We're meeting them at noon tomorrow, same time as Sylvia, but there'll be two separate things. I'll be able to smooth it over.
How much did Mish get?
10 platinum. You already, I gave it to you last time. Yeah, it was 10 platinum.
You are currently looking at this pile of gems being examined on the table and feeling a little underpaid, a little underappreciated.
Take some gems, man. God damn.
No.
What do you mean
I need
no?
to account for all of. I need to account for all of the gems first, and then we will split it, or count it, whatever.
Okay. Then
He's been paid for the week.
I'll-
Actually, you've overpaid him. Like our contract stipulates, he only gets like 2 platinum a week.
Okay, sure. I'm gonna chill out and just tell them everything about Rita and all of that. Well, they know. They met me. They saw what happened in the alley, didn't they? So they were there.
Does the name Rita mean anything to me?
Make a history check, Akron.
My favorite check right now. No, it's not. Never mind. I hate this check. Fuck this check.
It means fuck all. Rita. It sounds like the name of a southern waitress.
Rita Skeeter.
No.
First name Flo.
Flow Rider.
Nice.
How long you been sitting on that one, D?
Like an hour.
Nice.
Had to wait for it to. I just forced it at that point.
There you go.
But it sounds like that's the revelry backup that the Dragon Toffs were waiting for.
Is it the revelry?
She just you can both make history checks.
Is that me?
Yeah, Strom and Moorish,
No.
if you like.
Fucking history checks, man.
Wow, jeez.
Join me, brother.
Hey.
23. The name Rita, as having been in the run for quite some time, not exactly like a low-level gang per se, but not high up either. Rita, they call themselves the Fiends. They kind of not disorganized, but very motley. They tend to pick up and arm themselves with things that they just find off of whoever they kill. They've actually made it into part of their identity. The red bands are the only form of identification that they have. And while they're not the revelry pirates that the Jagantoths are expecting, you do know with that 23 that Rita herself once was a revelry pirate and sort of made her way to Shady Creek Run to start anew on the land rather than the sea.
Okay.
Let's get it.
I'll relay that to the group.
Big. Okay. It's been a good day for the war.
Very busy day.
What time is it in game at this point?
In game, you're looking at around like 8:30 p.m.
Okay.
Sun's starting to get low. if not setting already.
So tomorrow, what's the plan? Gonna try and.
Um,
How did you get off of the informant, by the way? Because everyone was there other than me and Strom, weren't they?
Oh yeah, with
Oh,
Eleanor.
yes. Oh, right. Eleanor, yes. Okay, she gave me some names of some potential people we can look at.
You have those names.
Well, yes, we have takes out a list. We have Hannibal Okala. He is a human man. He's a very high-ranking lieutenant of the Taskers. Some
Hannibal
law-keeping.
Okala.
Hannibal Okala.
Okay.
The Taskers, some law-keeping group, apparently. Big quotations. He might be of help. However, if the rumors are you've told us the truth that we've been slandered, he might be not really willing. We have a half-orc called Mirik. He is the leader. She is the leader. It is the leader of the Frostfire Falcons. And then we also have Melina Springleaf, a very independent and possibly very powerful druid. And lastly, out in the north of the Savalier Wood, there is an orcish warband of sorts that have set up.
Is that
They're some sort of mercenary group potentially looking for work.
Ferb?
Mm-hmm.
Would wait? So there's also on top of Melania Springleaf, there's also an orcish band that's set up in the Savalier Wood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would Moorish pin the dots, like dot to dot that with Tarn by any chance?
Did Tarn relay his plans?
No.
Doesn't really ring any immediate bells.
He did say he was basically just going to go off and kill his dad. That was about the extent of it.
I'm Tarn. I have daddy issues. I've also got this mech suit now. Bye.
Zale, I have issues. Tarn, I have daddy issues.
So Melania
I'm
Springleaf.
seeing a
is the
pattern here,
druid.
D. You want to tell me something?
Just wait for my third re-roll.
Oh, please, God.
I have mummy issues.
Nice. Gotta complete the trifecta.
Oh, no. Oh, jeez. The fourth character is just going to be like a screaming 5-year-old.
It's just going to be an ego.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Okay.
And she has daddy issues.
Do we know where to find any of
But
these
no,
people?
Gotcha.
Okay, no worries.
says we
we-
don't know what's happened to Tarn.
Do we
We
know?
haven't done anything yet.
Do we know where any of these people are on this list specifically?
Yeah. Well, Akron, you would sort of know.
Can I get,
Hannibal
like, my
Okala,
kinda-
you know, as a high-ranking lieutenant of the Taskers, is actually pretty damn close, being that their headquarters is like 8 houses down.
Well, Noodle, Moorish, the closest one would be Hannibal, and I'm gonna kind of point to where the Taskers HQ is.
Yeah,
Says
yeah.
he's most likely in there.
Okay. What about the other three? Well,
well-
I know the Orc band. The other two, then. Sorry.
Well, Mirik would probably be at their fortress, I guess. And Melina Springleaf, I mean, I probably
You
somewhere.
can make history checks for me.
Okay, how many?
Just one. See your
Just
general
one.
knowledge. 20. Little bit hard to say where an active mercenary band might be, considering the situation. So you don't know much about Mirik, but Melania Springleaf, that is a name that's popped up a little bit here and there, just in your own general travels. She supposedly has a grove a little bit south of the run, actually not far from where you encountered that group of Trebane mages, Sylvia and her lot. Her own little place. And from what you know of her, she has something of a vested interest in making sure that the chaos in the run doesn't become too chaotic.
What are the,
That's sort of her motivation.
So what was the law team called in this run? Sorry.
The Taskers.
The Taskers.
Thank you. Sorry.
Law keeping, massive quotations.
Yeah.
There's no law in the run. There's just organized chaos and unorganized chaos.
Well, should we maybe try and go and speak to Hannibal tonight while we're here?
You can go for it. I've got a lot of work here to do here.
Yeah. Zale.
I'll do it.
Oh,
I'll go. It's dark. I'm pretty stealthy.
Okay.
Besides, someone needs to let the ladder down. You can all go. I will stay here.
I'm gonna take my armor off before we go.
Okay. Easy enough.
Because
I'm gonna toss Ish a platinum and say, Ish, go with the people.
I think less the better at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
chew it between my
Oh.
teeth to check that it's real, and
It's real.
Is platinum soft or hard?
That's a good question.
I mean, it'll be
Metal
cut with
hard.
something, but platinum's pretty hard.
He breaks his
Yeah.
teeth.
How hard are you chewing, Mr. Mish?
enough to check if it's real or not.
Judging by the immediate ache that spreads between your molars, yeah, it feels pretty real. It's platinum.
Okay. I pocket it and join the crew as their leader.
As their leader, indeed.
I mean, we walk
So
up.
we're looking at Moresh, Strom, and Mish for this outing?
yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Making your way down. There's a little bit of activity on the streets, but it's been a few hours since the whole thing kicked off. Looking up amidst the sky,
Would
you
I have
do
been
see
able
the
to
black
take a short
shapes.
rest in that time, or is that not?
Yeah, sure, that's fine. You do see the shapes of giant spread wings in the sky, griffin riders moving through, keeping a close watch. It's not a long trek, so I'm not going to ask for a stealth check as you make your way through. Basically just moving through the streets, avoiding what light you can to keep as low profile as possible. Eventually you make your way to the front door, the headquarters of Taskers, which is this pretty big, wide-set building, 2 stories tall. It looks like it was once a tavern, but it's been repurposed. The double doors that serve as the entrance are closed. There's some light burning from within, but as you approach, you see, not outside, but inside, the doors are sort of glass, and there's a sort of like frosted glass siding to it, and you can see the silhouette of 2 men standing guard right beside the door on the inside.
How do we approach this? Do we knock?
Yeah, I'll politely rap on the glass.
Okay. Rap on the glass. Sound. There's a little bit of a stir from inside. One of the silhouettes moves, and then the door cracks open just a bit as an eye looks through.
Hello.
You of all people, huh?
I know, right? Unexpected.
Right. Are you in disguise right now, Morris, or are you
no,
just you?
No, I'm just me.
Okay. Interesting that you decide to come here. Come on in. Someone's gonna want to see you, I'm sure.
I have no
And-
doubts.
Stepping through, the lower level of this place is indeed still a tavern. Sort of. There's a long bar. It has more of like a semi-private lounge aesthetic to it. There is a bar there, but there's no bartender. Lots of bottles laid out, glasses and such. A few tables here and there. There's a chase lounge set up. Nice, sort of tidy little booths here and there. You see a couple men in small groups drinking, sharing some company, then looking up as you enter. A few crossed arms, a few not sour glances, but attentive glances cast your way as your group comes through. And one man in particular, who's just sort of standing, there's a staircase at the far end of the room that leads upward to another sort of upper banister level. Sort of standing, leaning up against the banister, gives a nod to you all. A human man, bald head, heavy beard. Give me just a second, Akron. Gotcha. Just a moment. Looks up. Sort of like light brown skin. All right. What a surprise this is. Awful ballsy of you all to just come waltzing in here. You know, from the things we've heard about your little group, we should put you down right now. You know what we're about, right?
Yeah,
Keeping peace and order
that's what we're
best we can.
That's what we're trying to do by getting rid of the crime families.
Yeah. All right. Best higher up we've got right now is Hannibal. He'll talk to you upstairs. I'll lead you to him.
All right. Let's
leads
go.
you up the stairs and into past several doors, another sort of upper lounge area up here. But there's also an open door that you see leads into what is very prominently an armory with lots of racks of guns and swords lined up, lots of spears and shields as well. And finally, past that, down another hallway, and then at the far corner is another door which he opens for you, and you are led into an office with a fine red carpet on the ground leading to a big mahogany desk, bookshelves on the sides flanking the sides of the wall, and behind a big sort of bay window that has like a very commanding view down the street, offering a sort of like surveying wide set glance over this whole region of the run. And sitting in a very prominent armchair of fine leather is a human man, uh, close cropped black hair, sort of faded buzz at the sides, um, a very short and sharp beard that sort of like finely accentuates his chin. He's a very handsome man with slate gray eyes, wearing a an outfit that you all, some of you all anyway, might recognize as Pride Silk, which is a very fine and luxurious clothing item that is also quite tough, forming almost like a form of armor. Huh. He looks from you, Morrish, to Strom, to Mish. So we've got here the one of the vagabonds that has caused so much chaos in this city. We've got the, shall we say, left-hand blade of the Trebanes, and we've got this motherfucking gnome. Do you know how much chaos your little band has caused? Do you know how many absolute lives you have ruined? You.
Can I point at Morris and go, he's not a gnome, he's an elf.
He cocks his head, looks at you, like 3 seconds of tense silence passes, and he smiles and leans back, little chuckle. Right, I had heard you weren't very bright.
No, unfortunately not.
Look, I want to know something. My name's Hannibal, by the way, Hannibal Ocala. I don't lead this entire group, but you could say I lead this chapter. We've got a few places around here.
Nice to meet you, Hannibal. I am Moorish.
What's your intention with this place? What are your goals?
For the run, or for with you?
Yeah.
The run. Well, we want to get rid of the crime families. Because despite what you've heard, it is quite the contrary about who's caused the chaos here.
I've always been a firm believer in ascertaining for myself what's right or wrong. That's why I didn't have you shot on sight.
That's smart.
Yeah.
I respect that. So, when we initially hit the Mardoons, you remember that, the brand? Everyone remembers that. That's where it all started, yeah?
Yeah, kinda kicked the hornet's nest, man.
Yeah, well, that was on orders of Darko Trebane, more or less.
Was it actually?
Well, we were working for the Trebanes, and we were instructed by him that if we wanted to get in touch with the Jagantoths, we should hit the Mardoons, because they had a rivalry going on. And so he pointed us in the direction. The Trebanes initially were the ones to kick it off, and we kind of just got caught up in the whirlwind, and then the Trebanes betrayed us. The Jagantoths aren't exactly nice people, so, you know, no one's going to miss them. Let's not mess around. We want to remove their influence upon the town. And we'd either like your help, or at least for you to remain neutral.
To what end, though? Because you have to understand that changing the dynamics of a town isn't as simple as killing all the leaders. There's going to be a power vacuum. Holes are going to be needed to fill.
Yeah.
And
We've got a plan for that.
We've got a plan for that, yeah.
what is that plan? You don't have to reveal everything if you're worried about intel leaks, but I want to know, for the interests of this place, my people.
Well, we're gonna bolster the Jagantoth family, the ones that aren't dealing in slave trade.
Not the Jagantoths. So we have a person in mind who's going to
Oh,
lead
Tribunes.
differently. Yeah, the Tribunes. Yeah.
My
Which
bad.
family you part of? How many
bad.
families you're part of?
There's too
All of
many.
them.
There's too many families here.
So many lives and too
We
many
also
lives.
intend
Oh
to.
my god, so many Vin Diesels are coming around the corner. Dude.
We also intend to stick around ourselves and fill in that power vacuum.
You want to make yourselves the new leaders of the run?
Leaders is a bit of an overstatement, but generous benefactors. Help in terms of helping the people get out of what is quite literally squalor, and from being bullied by the likes of the Mardoons and the Jagged. Get me wrong, man. I've looked around. I've been to the shops, and they have to pay protection money. None of that shit will happen. The people will be better off.
Those are high ideals. But, so, you do know the Empire is on its way,
Oh,
right?
very much so, yes. And probably the
They're-
Kryn.
They're not going to stand for an independent run.
Yeah, the run's
as
always
far
been
as-
independent.
Sure, and it's always been a thorn in the Empire's side, ceding trade, causing chaos, just generally seeping disorder into the Empire, like poison into a well. As far as they're concerned, they're going to see you as more of the same. Just overtakers come to assume the mantle of this criminal empire. What are your plans for them?
I'm not willing to discuss that at the moment, but one step at a time.
Look, I'll tell you why we came here. We, as the Taskers as a whole. The Empire, they do what they can to impose order, but with an iron fist. The taxes are high, the laws are unpleasant. Do you know much about that religious war that got started up a little bit ago? What did they call it? God, it's escaping my tongue, but when they outlawed all those deities and limited to just the 5 and everyone who worshipped anything else, do you know why they started that? It wasn't for some moral reason. They weren't occupying any kind of high ground. They just wanted to impose their will, banish a few select troublemakers, and create a tighter reign over the people. The reason we came to the run is because it represented a fresh start, away from all of that. Is that what you're after too? Or are we going to be at odds here?
A fresh start without an Iron Fist leadership? Yeah, that's pretty much what we're going for. No, you're not, Zale.
Unfortunately not. Speaking of which, what are you doing right now, Zale? Oh, if you want to be here, I would say that's fine. Because you were I assume
Yeah,
taking a shit.
no, I went to get a drink, so
Okay, yeah. In that case, you can be here. The whole group's marched up, with the exception of Akron, who is hanging out in his room inspecting gems.
I'm just
I'm
going to
reading
butt in
books.
when he says about the fresh start thing. And I'll be like, a fresh start, a redistribution of power, a place where people can live, where they don't have to fear whether they'll be sold off to somebody that's just going to use them as target practice for fun. The crime, the just general, the poverty. You may think the town has it good at the moment, but that's only because the families distribute whatever they see fit. The select few above all, when it should be equal for everyone. A town founded on slavery is not a town at all. It's just a prison with fancy dressing.
Oh my god. You all are a handful, you know that?
We are aware, yes.
Okay.
I'm slightly insane, yes.
Yeah, so the word on the street goes. They say you slay every man you meet, Zale, that if anyone ever makes eye contact with you, you fall next on your list. You're bound by some insane oath to murder them. Is that true? And he's making eye contact with you.
Do you have a pulse?
I do, I think.
Then it's not
What's
true.
Alright. You mentioned the Kreen. What
Yes.
about them?
We were... We've been made aware that a high-ranking Kryn diplomat from Den Thalis was murdered at the Sour Nest.
I've heard similar.
And I mean, we don't know for definite, but they're not going to take that lightly.
No, I suspect they won't.
So we have that to deal with. But
Yeah.
maybe we could bring them round, because they're not really good friends with the Empire, so we might be able to swing something there.
You're suggesting an alliance with the Kreen, with the insane dark elves from across the mountain with their
They're not-
black space magic?
They're not insane.
No?
No.
Okay. Alright. Alright.
No more than we are, anyway.
Wow. No more than anyone.
Would you believe
is.
us? Would you believe this if we told you a random madman that tagged along with us killed him on a whim?
He looks at the group of you all, with a very motley crew, and he says, I believe that your group would have a propensity to attract madmen.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I'm going to be honest. I went to the nest for Lorenzo. Things happened. We ran out.
But we played no
And
part in
unfortunately-
that Kryn diplomat being killed.
The Kryn diplomat, that was unforeseen. That was unplanned.
That was
Yeah.
one person's whim.
Speaking of that, if you go to the central square, where all the main markets are, where the bazaar is, there's something you may find of interest there. Your friends from the nest, they were found, and they're hanging there. They have been for days now. It's getting a little messy. I'm not sure how much you owe them, what respect you deserve to give them, but I'm not sure it's how they'd like to rest. The
That
Jagantoss
fucker
have
still
kept them
has
up
my
as an
goggles.
example.
Yes, Kieran does.
Sorry, did that slip out?
Thank you for letting us know. So,
Yeah.
how about that alliance?
Seems to me, and I've got a pretty good eye for deception, that you're not bullshitting me when you say you want what's best for this place. That is pretty rare, I'll admit. And I think, I might be stupid, but I think you might actually have a shot at this.
We've been
Look.
heavily recruiting, and we just hit a Mardoon gem house and stole what is essentially an entire caravan's worth of stuff.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me. It's all anyone is willing to talk about on the street right now.
We seem to have a lot
You
of
must be-
propensity for doing that here.
Alright. On the day that all this kicks off, when the main conflict comes, you can count on the Taskers. For the time being, no one's seen you walk in other than our own guys, and they'll keep their lips shut. We have the element of surprise. Nobody has to know that we're allies until the time comes, but you can count our swords as on your side.
Insight check.
That seem fair?
Insight check before I reply, like while he's speaking.
Yeah, make an insight check.
No, I have no idea.
Yeah, seems on the level.
You feel a tap on your ass from the
yeah.
across the map.
Zale, you peering a little more closely in than Morish, you read into this man. There is an honesty there. He's not lying, but he's also, you get the sense he's hedging his bets. If things go absolutely tits up, he has plausible deniability. But you also get the sense that if you do manage to stick to your side and you don't fuck things up completely and there is a real chance of victory, he'll come through.
Right then.
Do we have a deal?
I'll put out my hand. We have a deal.
He shakes. Alright. Excellent.
Pleasure to meet you, Hannibal.
Likewise. Here, take this. A sign of friendship, I guess you could say. And he reaches into the side of his desk and he pulls out 3 items.
A
Yeah,
12
he
gauge
pulls out a
shotgun.
Remington 870 and shoots all of you with buckshot. Should have worn your armor, you son of a bitch.
Like to disclose when people don't wear armor.
Yeah,
Welcome
okay.
to
So
Shady Creek. Yeehaw!
he pulls out a long dagger that is pure black with a sort of red pommel stone and sets that on the table. Beside it, he lays out a ebony ring, similar color and shade, with a another red gemstone. These items are paired. Whoever wields the dagger and whoever wears the ring can swap places with one another whenever they desire. It's a bit tricksy. Honestly, I've been saving it for a rainy day, but it seems like you all are getting into some shit, so you might find some value out of that.
Do they require a tuning too?
No, just wear them or wield them, and it's easy as that.
You said 3 items. Yeah.
Indeed. And as he lays out these two, he pulls out a third, which is a not a gauntlet per se, more like a fingerless glove that can be worn under a gauntlet, like a little like a black glove with some fine filigree engraved in it. This is, well, it used to be of a pair. It's a glove of climbing. It will adhere you to whatever you need with complete firmness. So if you need to hang from any ceilings or anything like that, wish I had the other one, but I lost it a long time ago. You know how gloves are. You get lost everywhere. Kind of a bitch. But take it as a symbol of cooperation. Get some use out of them. Or don't. Maybe you would just want to sell them. I don't care. I'm just doing my due diligence. Being friendly. People say I'm pretty bad at that.
You seem to be fairly friendly to me. I appreciate the material support.
Well, the thing is, you're not a shithead. I hate shitheads, so I don't treat them very nicely.
That's fair.
Alright.
Yeah, pick up the items. Who wants what?
I might take that ring if
I'd
that's...
like all of it.
I want the ring.
Huh?
I want the ring. Sorry, I'm eating popcorn.
So does Strom.
What if Strom gets the dagger and I get the ring?
I don't
So
want
does
to
Mish.
fucking drop either of my current weapons, but it's fine if someone else wants to take the dagger. It's cool.
The dagger only needs to be on you, doesn't it? You don't need to be wielding it.
I don't know.
You would need to, at the moment of the teleportation, you would need to be holding it. But
Right.
otherwise, yeah, you don't need to keep it as your active weapon all the time.
What if he grasps it at the hilt?
That should work as well, I suppose.
I'll tuck the dagger into my belt then.
I'll
I'll
slap
take
that
the-
ring on.
I'll take the glove.
Cool.
Okay. All right. Been a
If only you had
fruitful
that bottle,
discussion.
yeah.
You already made that verb, or is that something to add later?
I will have to add it in later, but
Okay.
I will. Yeah, go ahead and add it as a custom item, and I'll write that up as soon as the session ends. All right. Feel free to grab whatever you want from the bar on your way out. There's some pretty high-end stuff up there. Pretty nice.
Yeah, I'll grab
Have a
myself
nice night.
bottle of whiskey.
Mm.
Thank you.
I recommend the Bushmills. Tastes like straight apple juice. It's actually pretty nice.
Okay, I'll grab one of them.
Pussy.
I'm I need to go to the square and take a look. At least. Because I don't want to leave
You-
Kieran there. At least.
You doing this stealthily?
Yeah. Do you want to
I'll-
come with me?
I'll join you with that.
Okay. Yeah. I assume the other two are going to go back. And me and Strom will head out to the square where we got told.
I mean, it's a really public place, and
You're
I'm
very heavy armoured, yes. I think we
I'm
should go back
ab-
to the base.
about as stealthy as the bomb that hit Nagasaki.
Mm-hmm, that's fine. Go back to the base with Mish, because he's got disadvantage on stealth checks as well. Unless Mish wants to come, but...
I could come. I know you want me there.
I mean, I don't, really, because you're gonna fucking fail a stealth check somehow. With your disadvantage in plate mail. Or whatever it is. But it's up to you, dude.
No, take several drinks from behind the bar and have some for dish. Share them with my doll.
Okay, nice. All right, splitting up as you go. Moorish and Strom. The square's not far from here. You're already in Central Clover. As you're making your way, Akron, is there anything you've been up to in your time there? Anything of interest, or have you been working on the gems, or did you want to get some artificing
Yes.
done?
So I would like to get some artificing done. I would like to make some sort of scrying devices.
Okay.
And then I will do with those something.
Go ahead and make a just an Arcana roll for me. 19. Yeah, easy enough. You know how to make these devices pretty well. They're pretty small, pretty covert, and you have in your hand about enough time to make 3 of them, with materials on hand, with aid from the stuff in the crates and such. Yeah. Now, you yourself cannot access them directly. You would need to know the spell of scrying, but they make very good anchor points. So, for someone else that you know of, or if you can find access to the spell through some other means, they'd be great.
Okay. I'm going to. Yeah, I'm sure you would, Marsh. Okay, well, I'm gonna keep 2 on me. The third one I'm going to put inside Marsh's armor, really stealthy-like, so you can't find it.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, easy enough. They're very small, about the size of like a thumbnail, and so fitting it in between the scales of the armor, all but unnoticeable. You'd have to
Does
know what to
Moorish
look
know
for.
about this?
I mean, he's not.
Oh no,
he's
he
not
left,
there.
he left the
He's
armor,
there.
didn't he? Yeah.
Marsh
Yeah.
isn't there.
Yeah, he certainly did.
I said I took my armor off.
I was
Yeah,
getting
and
a
left it.
drink.
I didn't say I left it. I can
What?
carry it in my backpack.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
I guess we'll have to put that on hold for now, Mr.
Well,
Akron.
That fucks up what I was going to do. All right.
Akron puts a scrying object in some random person's armor at the hideout.
Hey, no, you'll never see this coming. Okay, that's fine. The
Okay.
second
No,
thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna
no,
take
actually, realistically, Moorish would have left his armor.
Okay.
He wouldn't be carrying that
Okay.
around if he wanted to be stealthy, and I don't want to cuck you out of that moment by being like, no, he'd take his armor. He didn't take his armor. Yeah.
Fuck, my RP moment's been ruined.
Sorry,
from
man.
magic. No,
Sorry, man. No, I was just thinking about it, and I was like, actually, Moorish wouldn't
Yeah.
have his armor. Don't be petty. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, this will
I
not
respect it.
This will not harm Morish in any way. Do not worry. Do not worry.
No, not worry.
It's absolutely cool, man. You do you.
Okay. The second thing is I'm gonna take out my flipstone. It is a sending stone shaped like a flip phone.
Okay.
I'm then going to dial 911 and relay the message to my contact, which I will DM you.
Excellent. Done and done. In the privacy of the safe house, which you are familiar, you've actually spent a decent amount of time here. It's not any place. Bolt holes, they call them. Just little places
Okay.
to lay low and hide out in, not meant to be permanent.
I'm going to take off the loose wood plank and get out my rum and coke.
Did your fantasy coke? Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Actually, sarsaparilla.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Sarsaparilla soda or something. Carbonated sarsaparilla.
You have your rum and carbonated beverage of medieval origin.
Gotcha. Cool. That's me. Then I'll get back to doing the gems and stuff.
All right. And
I
by
thought you said ramen instead of rum then, and I was like, what the fuck is
ramen and coke. That sounds absolutely horrid.
No, it's actually really good.
carbonated rum?
Actually, no, not carbonated rum.
Carbonated
Rum and Coke?
ramen.
Brandy and Coke, it's all really good. Everything goes with Coke, actually. It's surprising.
Does ramen noodles go with coke?
I have not tried, but I'm willing to let you experiment for me.
I'm not willing to try. All right. It's about the same time, about the time that you finished up all your all your business and such. The devices don't take long. Planning them in just a second, and that's around the same time that as you're getting your drinks out, that Zale and Mish come up the ladder or approach, and you have to let the ladder down for them. You have your own little party established. Morris and
I'll
Strom.
put the ladder down for them.
Gotcha. Morris and Strom, go ahead and make stealth checks for me as you're moving through. Individually.
No, it was so close to a 15.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. No, no. Okay.
It do be like that sometimes.
You
Noodle.
do.
Just skill issue, dude. It's okay. Happens.
It does.
Other guys. Is there...
Saying that, I probably would be in disguise.
Makes sense.
Fair
Makes
enough.
I'd be an old man.
Why is that old man crouching like that? Fucking
So
dementia or
that's a
something.
20 and a 24 total for that. It's not the things on the ground that you have to watch for. It's what's in the sky. Constant vigil has been the name of the game. It's a little less now than it was, but there is still vigilance up there. The Dragon Rider, the Griffin Riders keep circling and circling, and now you can sort of see it in the distance, especially now that it's night. This sort of like distant set of lights hanging in the sky, and sort of straining your eyes and looking. It almost looks like there's a ship up there, like a boat ship, but it's just floating in the sky.
An airship.
And an airship, yes. And the Griffin Riders keep returning to it periodically before sending another one out. They're usually keeping about 2 in rotation at all times. And one of these big ass silhouettes, bird silhouettes, is flying now a little bit in your direction, not with like active intent, but to investigate.
Okay.
As if they've seen, like, just from that distance, from all that far away, you would be like ants on the ground, but for some reason or whatever, they're moving toward you, perhaps just to get a closer look.
How far away are they?
Both of you make perception checks. 23, 19. Yeah, you both notice this. Currently, it's quite far away, like maybe a mile off.
Oh. Okay.
But it's a griffin. They can clear a lot of ground.
Gonna try and break ice contact, like line of sight, by dipping into an alleyway or something.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
Just like something where the roof's like you can't see the sky above, and it's fairly dark, I imagine, at this point.
Yeah, you're closing in on around 9:30. The sun is well and truly down. Especially this late in the season, it's quite dark now. And easy enough to break cover moving in.
And then I'm going to... How far away are we from the square?
This right now, a straight walk with no worry about stealth. You're not far at all, like maybe 10 minutes.
Ah, okay, yeah, I'm going to cast invisibility on me and Strom.
Okay, yeah, easy. A cloak goes over the both of you, and you step back out of the alley feeling free and clear.
Let's go.
Moving through, it doesn't take long as you're moving more or less brazenly through the alley that you look up and around, and you see another shape in the air, much closer. The goblin Vistrogar on his broom, circling around the area where you were. And then seeing nothing, and then continuing to move. He's much lower to the ground than the griffins are.
Okay. Just try and keep contact on him if I can, but keep heading towards the square.
Yeah, he's flitting in and out of sight. It's hard to see with all the buildings in the way blocking line of sight, but you catch glimpses of him every now and again. And eventually...
Sorry, go on. No, it's cool.
And eventually, you make it to the central square of Shady Creek Run, the sort of heart of all its marketplaces and commerce. You see the large sort of pavilion of the bazaar, where you all once actually attacked one of the smaller scale slave markets and smashed a pot of alchemist fire into a merchant's
Yes,
jaws.
they did that. They did
Sailed.
Yep. Yep, definitely the whole group of you took responsibility for that, and not just one insane person. But you move through, and it does not take long at all to see what Hannibal pointed out to you. High up on crucifixes, about 15 feet off of the cobbles, you see the bodies of the Punisher and Kieran, nailed by the hands and feet two of these crucifixes rotting. It's been a good couple of days now, and the flesh is starting to slaw off the both of them. Their eyes have been pecked out by birds. Their skin is host to a veil of flies, covering them like black shimmering armor, exploding off and away as soon as you get too close. You're still some distance away, but it is a disgusting sight. Maggots writhing and squirming within them.
Okay. Is there anyone around?
There's no one around. Below these crucifixes, on sort of like signposts that have been nailed up, you just see the words traitors.
Okay.
The square is deserted. For good reason, you think. Probably no one really likes to shop with these bodies hanging around.
Yeah, that's fine. Would you allow me, without breaking invisibility, to use this bottle of whiskey that I got to coat both the corpses in it and set them alight?
Yeah, I would say that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to do that, and also I'd like to change the sign from traitors to friends,
Betrayed.
maybe, or betrayed. Yeah.
Betrayed. Okay. Yeah. Easy enough to do. A casting of prestidigitation to do away with the original ink. Carving your own letters in. A stark reminder. And the whiskey coats their corpses. Oh, and by the way, the corpses are naked.
Yeah,
like utterly naked. They've been stripped and desecrated.
Yeah, I didn't think they'd leave any magical
Yes,
items on them.
they left all these very rare and expensive items just on the bodies.
Naked except for the goggles.
And then, yeah.
Also, is it that the other Roland's other pistol is just on Kieran? It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, head back.
Okay. You light the bodies up behind you, and they go up. The crucifixes begin to burn. The corpses begin to burn. It's at that moment that Vistrogar and the Griffin Riders hone in on that beacon of flame lighting up, but you're already walking away.
Yeah, already
You
gone.
look back over your shoulder, and you're about at the edge of the square then when you see touching down on the ground the goblin, a lithe, thin, feral figure with two scimitars at his sides, two hand crossbows tucked in the small of his back. And he looks at these bodies go up, and a snarl of his angled, crooked, sharp teeth. And he goes up with both scimitars, and he begins to just frantically hack at the corpses, flying up on his broom, standing up in the air, just severing the meat in any way he can. Kieran's arm goes flying off, still flaming and landing on the cobbles. Then his head is bloated, disgusting, rotten innards spill on the ground with a little explosion of pent-up, swelling gases. Punisher gets much the same treatment, just absolutely going insane. And you leave this behind, and you go, and you go.
That was pretty visceral, Verb. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, he's not a pleasant figure.
No,
You
totally
didn't
not.
like you really didn't like Kieran that much, did you?
I like Kieran a lot.
Was it
It's
Team
not-
Mind?
It's not. I like Kieran a lot. It's just what this character would
me
do.
too.
Yeah.
Also,
No.
my question for you was: have you given this fucking goblin a broom to show us how annoying Punisher was with the broom, or?
Well, mostly it's because I wanted to like this because this guy's gonna be a real piece of shit if he can fly, and he can hurt you like a lot, and not be hurt in turn if he can get away. Mostly I just wanted to torment you guys. It wasn't necessarily like a vendetta thing. It's just like I can hurt these guys a lot if I give this guy flying. And what do you know? The Punisher had a broom.
Ah.
I'm
You
gonna
make your way
craft
back to
a
the safe
fucking
house.
anti-broom gun that destroys flying brooms. I'll do that for. I mean, I'll do that.
Guess maybe you can try. You can certainly try.
I'm just
But
gonna
you
put the
make
DC
your
to,
way
like,
back.
25.
Akron, you let the ladder down for them. Morris and Strom, you make your way back in. Hard to say how you feel after seeing that. You like to think that you gave Kieran and the Punisher a little bit more rest. But man, that was messy.
So, how'd it go?
Not well.
Oh? So, Hannibal didn't agree to anything then?
Oh, that went well.
Oh, then what did not go well?
Oh, we went to the square.
Why?
Kieran and the Punisher were there, crucified.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a pretty grim sight.
My condolences.
Yeah. Anyway, how you getting on with the gems?
Well, I've managed to identify a good 3/4 of the refined gems. We are at the moment currently looking at about 17,000 gold worth of these gems, and that's only 15 pounds out of the 75. I haven't looked at anything else yet.
£50, wasn't it?
Yeah, 50. 50.
50. What did I say?
15, I thought you said. Sorry,
I
I was just
meant
making
50.
sure you said 50 and not 15. That's all.
I meant 50. If I said 15, I meant 50.
Oh, no, that's cool. That's cool.
Gotcha.
Just
No,
making
it's all
sure.
good.
Yeah,
Just wanted to make sure we're on the same level.
yeah. Okay, that is a
So,
lot of gold.
quite a substantial amount.
We're gonna need it.
I haven't even had a chance to look at anything else yet. It's just been these refined gems. A master craftsman has done a fine job here.
Okay. Yeah, we need some way to distribute it, or at least turn it into gold.
I think gems are as good as gold around
I
here.
suppose they probably are, aren't they? Actually.
But would I know what one gem would equal in gold, or is it like variable?
It's extremely variable depending on the quality, craftsmanship, and size.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, with 50 pounds of gems is a lot of gems. You think that it probably shouldn't be too hard to single out individual pieces if you're just making payments. But it's also fairly... Now, gems work as pretty good payment, but they're also not extremely liquid, like right off the bat. Like, you can't just hand a gem to a common mercenary and expect him to be able to find some use out of that. You know, you need to... At some point, you are going to have to liquidate them, but they're good as they are for now. It's certainly a fucking windfall.
Yeah.
Well, for the time being, we can hang on to these. We might be able to pay these people in armor. There's a bunch of crates and there's a bunch of armor and weapons in those crates. I haven't had a look at yet.
There is a some
Um,
sort of trade bank house in town, is there not?
What is there?
Sort of. There are like... There are people who can probably get those sorts of connections, but there's no like official bank house per se.
We just need to find a fence, basically.
Probably easy enough. This is a crime city, or crime town after all. Maybe someone through the Trebanes can help.
Yeah, we should speak to Antoinette about that. Should we go back and speak to her tomorrow before we do anything else?
Yeah, maybe rest up here.
Yeah.
Well, so how much gold worth of diamonds do you need to cast Revivify?
300.
300.
Okay, cool. So Viv's given us like
10 revivifies.
a bunch of revivifies, yeah.
I think
More
300
caliber.
for the normal one, and then it isn't 500 like a different higher level.
I think that's
Resurrection's
Raised
1,000, isn't it?
I thought it was 500.
500 for Raised Dead. It might be 1,000 for Resurrection. I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Options anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, long rest? Or
Yeah.
Yeah. You all settle in. There's 8 bunk beds here. You can sort of pick your spread. If any of you would like to share, you can let me know. But I don't think so.
No.
I am open to spooning.
Zale would probably generate like a lot of body heat. I bet he'd be a pretty good cuddler. As long as you don't get too hot. Wink wink.
I give excellent snuggles.
As you all are preparing to rest, dinner is prepared using whatever rations you can. It tastes better than your normal fare, if only because you're actually in a safe spot and you're not eating this like hurriedly in the rain, watching for patrols and shit as you've been the last few days. It's around the time that some of you are settling in for bed and all of you are winding down that you hear a knock at the door.
Oh, fucking hell.
well, instantly, who do I know that knows of this location?
A few names come to mind, but You also know that when the ladder is dropped, you hear the pattern that you have to pull on it. You know, one, pause, then two, then one again, and that did not happen. You just hear the knock.
Is there like a peephole in the door or something I can?
There is, yeah. There is not a physical peephole, but right beside the door, there's a little like magical crystalline lens that you can look through, and it functions exactly like a peephole. And looking through it, you
I'm
see
a,
a. Oh, what was that,
I
Sean?
was just saying I'm saddled up right next to the door, weapons ready, just in case.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha. At this point, all of you would have disrobed from your armor, so you're unarmored for whatever that means, but your weapons are easy enough to grab. Akron, you move, and looking through the peephole, you are greeted with the sight of a half-elven man with short, like sort of dirty blonde hair, rather unkempt, like he doesn't give much attention to his style. He is dressed in what looks like travel robes, but they look like the robes of an apprentice wizard, with well-worn, travel-stained boots. There's a staff in his hands that he's sort of leaning on against, and he's looking at the door and he's knocked on and he's just waiting. He looks patient. He doesn't look hostile.
Does he ring a bell to me at all? Does he look familiar?
No, not at all.
No. I'm gonna look back at the party. Does anybody know a blonde half-elf wizard?
I just silently shake my head.
Is Talia blonde?
No.
Wasn't Adrian a half-elf wizard?
Adrian was a human.
Okay.
He had blonde hair.
Oh, he had blonde hair, that was it, yeah.
On his robes, does he have any like identifying marks?
No, they just look like plain robes. They look wizardly, but only by the nature of like lots of pockets for components and such that, wizards would have to carry.
Does he
Is
look?
it Gwildor? Oh no, I wouldn't know that. Sorry, Zale wouldn't know that.
Can I take... Zell met Kildor.
No, I
It
died.
is-
Yeah, but he met him before. Kildor
No, I
was in
never
the
saw
fight.
him.
Yeah,
I
you
never-
did.
I
Yeah, you
never-
did. Kildor
Yeah, there
was
was-
in the fight. That you
No,
died in.
No.
I met broken old man Gwildor. I never met.
You'd still know it was him, though. Like, it's still the same person. Surely.
This is not Kildor. And I would say, well, it's hard to say because after Kildor got restored, it was like night and day between who he was and
Yeah, I
who he was
suppose.
before. I would leave it up
You-
to you whether or not you would
Was he
actually
not
connect
also
the
a human?
difference. No, he was still human. It was just like when he got restored, like all his clothing changed, his
Yeah.
hair got kempt again, his like eyes. So like physically, a lot of the same features are there, but the
No,
vibe
I'm
was
with you. I'm
100%
just
different.
saying Kilda was a human. This is a half-elf.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I'm just shouting hypotheticals.
No, I don't know one.
Could be a disguise.
Does it look like a disguise? Is there any like?
I'm
Oh,
gonna
hold on,
cast.
hold on,
I'm gonna
wait,
cast.
wait, wait,
No. I'm gonna cast detect magic.
Oh, I was literally about to do that too. Yeah,
Yeah,
go for
yeah.
it.
I'm gonna cast detect magic.
Okay. Your pulse goes up, and you do detect a little bit of magic from this guy. His robes are enchanted. His staff is magical. You see some thin magical aura emanating from some of his pockets.
I'm gonna
But
I'm gonna walk slowly around the room and just see if I ping anything else from outside.
let me roll a d20. See if anything. It's a luck. Let's roll a luck check. Nah, nothing in particular.
Okay. What magic do I pick up off of him?
From the staff, you pick up an aura of evocation. From his robes, abjuration, and from his pockets, it doesn't really give off any specific aura. They're just like small magical residues from what you gather to be probably like material components.
Okay. Well, he's got a staff and his robe is definitely magical. I don't detect anything outside. What are we saying?
I'll just pull the hammer back and give the nod and wait to see if the door opens and see what this chap's about.
I'm going to open the door very slightly and
Okay.
ask him what he wants.
You crack the door, peering at him with just an eye, and with an
Hello?
expression like he didn't actually expect anything to happen. This young half elf man jumps up to like standing to attention, and he a smile crosses his face. He says, "Uh, hello. It's nice to meet you. Uh, my name. You can open it. I'm not gonna hurt you. You can open the door all the way."
I would like to know what you're doing outside my door, young man.
Yes, I suppose the onus is on me. I'm sorry. I don't get out very much. I'm not very sociable. um, my name is Gillen. Gillen Stormwind, and I know of your friends.
I've
Kildor
quite a few of
sent me.
those.
Gillen Stormwind.
Oh.
Excuse me, Kildor sent you?
Yes. Yeah. Who are you? I can't see through the door.
I mean,
but,
let's open the door. Come in. Fuck it.
yeah, the door opens and the man steps through, bowing his head. Thank you, thank you. I'll try not to get your floors too dirty. I'm sorry, the streets are rather mucky. Yes.
I'm gonna close the door behind him and lock it.
Yeah,
Uh,
my gun's trained on this guy.
Whoa.
Everyone just chill out. Kildor's a friend. We helped him, so let's just hear him out.
Who is Kildor?
He's a wizard we met at Chaos Vakarim. We saved his life.
Yeah, how the fuck did this guy know we were here now?
Well, he
Is
was,
that someone
I
Fox
imagine
did?
through some
Yeah.
very high-level magic, Kildor was a very, very skilled wizard. Even when we met him in his half-mind state, he was powerful. Let alone, I don't know what he can do now that he's back at full strength.
Well, this guy better start talking quickly then.
I'm no enemy to you, friend. With all due respect, my hands are up. I talk a lot better when I don't have guns pointed to my head. And you have me outnumbered 5-1. If I try anything, you can kill me like that. So,
Strom, just,
could we maybe talk like civilized men?
Strom, just put the gun away for now.
I'll drop the gun, but I don't uncock it.
Okay. Alright, yes, like I said, Kildor sent me. My name is Gillen. I'm his apprentice, or one of them, in any case. I guess the more correct term is journeyman. I've been out on my journeys trying to hone experience, and he told me to get in contact with you all. Did he tell you what organization he works for?
The Cerberus Assembly?
Yes.
The what?
Yes.
He works for the Cerberus Assembly.
I thought I was so worried you'd say that.
Yeah, he's a very powerful mage. Yes, we got mixed up with them as well, apparently. Forgot
So
about
you're
that.
friends with a Empire's mage?
Like, the
Not just an
Cerberus-
Empire's
the
mage,
ass-
but a high-level Empire's mage.
The Assembly do their own thing, really. You know what I mean?
The Assembly are the
Them.
ones running the Empire.
Yeah, well, they've clearly got someone on our side there, which is a good start.
At least someone you think's on your side.
Oh. Kildor owes us a big fucking favor, trust me. None of you
If
were
he's
there.
a powerful mage, then he can probably snap his fingers and eviscerate you. There goes your favor.
Well, he didn't, so...
And yet we're still stood here, Akron, and since you've met us, you know not everything is black and white.
And if Kildor wanted to kill us and he knows we're here, he would have come here with assembly mages, not just an apprentice. Yeah?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. My master told me to give you his regards. He is still quite grateful for everything that happened at Kaisakorum.
Mm.
I suppose you could say I'm here as much on his behalf as I am the Empire's behalf.
Oh.
You are figures of quite some influence. You're shaking things up, breaking the natural order, and eyes have been on you. I myself, and please don't take this the wrong way, but I've been watching you for a good few days now, just to see what your intentions were, to see what your plans were. And, well, my superiors, Kildor and others, would like to let you know that there is not necessarily any need for you and the Empires to be at odds. Your intention, as I understand it, is to free the run from the influence of the families, to destroy the criminal elements and create something of an independent power in the region. And the Empire, my superiors tell me, they would have no problems with that. Their whole motivation is to come and root out these elements and cease them from being such a thorn in our side.
Insight check.
I go ahead and make one.
Come on.
18. You're not sensing any dishonesty. Doesn't seem like he's lying to you. And moreover, with that 18, if he gives off the impression of like a 20-something college kid who's just entering the workforce for the first time. He's almost like too green and earnest to lie.
Okay.
That's the vibe you're getting from his personality.
Get
If
to smash some
the-
coke and hookers.
If the Empire is vested in our best interest, then how can they aid us?
As
What
you
can-
know,
what sort of relationship can we build if they're allowing us to be an independent state? Because I don't feel like the Empire is about that.
the specifics, I do not know exactly. I'm only here to, I suppose, build the bridge, get things started. And what they have promised, that is certain that you can expect, is that the 2 legions that are coming this way, marching as we speak, they will be here in about 5, 6 more days, perhaps sooner if they can march quickly enough. But they'll not be your enemy when they arrive. They would actually give you aid against these criminal factions. That is, if you would be amenable to signing a contract.
Oh,
I have it with me if you'd like to
Of
like
course,
to review
there's
it.
always some contracts with the Empire, isn't there?
and with
Let
2
me take a
legions,
look.
what are these 2 legions going to do once everything here is taken care of? Just leave of their own volition and leave the run to its own devices?
That I do not know. All that was told to me was that they promised military aid for this momentary cooperation, with the expectation that there would be further negotiations after the dust was settled.
And what happens when those negotiations fails? If those negotiations fail, are those 2 legions then gonna occupy the town and hunt us down?
That's if there are even negotiations to begin with. And why would you need negotiations if you've got 2 fucking legions here?
We'll
We've been
jump out in
given-
front of this.
How
There will
many-
be no
how many men is
occupation
2
post-conflict.
Sorry, how many men are 2 legions? I don't know.
Start to speak.
1 legion of righteous brand soldiers is about 250 men.
Ooh.
So 500 men are marching here. What's this contract say?
It promises that there will be no hostilities between your power and ours. It is, in all senses of the word, a non-aggression pact. We will not
How
harm
long?
you, and you will not harm us.
And how long do these
And-
terms last?
Until the fighting is done. In official diplomatic terms, I suppose you could say that you'll be doing your thing, and the Empire will be doing its thing.
Let
Your
me
sides...
let me see that contract, please.
Yeah.
Of course, of course. And he lays it out on the table.
I would like to look for any sort of loopholes and advantages that they've written in funny business long words to make their side more advantageous than ours.
Make a straight intelligence check for me.
Straight intelligence check. Oh, that was almost a natural 20.
Ah, a 13. Reading through it, it is written in dense legalese, very small print as well. You have to scan and scrutinize, and it's going to take you some time too. You'll have to actually bow out of the conversation for a while this is going on to
Could
read
I
through.
put on my spectacles of minute seeing and bow out for a second to read this?
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, with those spectacles, go ahead and make another roll for me. 16, a little better. Yeah, it's taking you a minute, but you sort of tune out the noise of conversation and sit with it and start to read. Kildor, he spoke highly of you all. He said that you all were very powerful, resourceful individuals, that you had come a long way and been very driven in your tasks, and the Empire and the Assembly rewards such individuals well. Now, I'm no political power. I can't speak with any sort of authority, but if I had to guess what the Empire's intentions were, they would like to make you some form of a vassal state with very exceptional freedoms for such an arrangement. There would be no taxation. There would be no adherence to imperial law, just an expectation of
Friendship.
cordial relations.
Friendship.
Yes, friendship.
That,
And that's it.
considering what the Empire normally deals with, that's
That's pretty light. For
actually
the Empire.
kind of favourable.
And is this because
Yeah,
we
well,
say?
that's how occupation starts.
Is this
Hold on.
how?
Did I
what-
catch that?
Yeah, you catch a decent amount of that, Akron.
Okay.
And what did you say, Morish?
I was saying, like, why? Like, why are they offering us this? When, if they're sending 500 men here...
Because
Surely
they're
they
scared of
could-
us, Morish.
Yeah, but...
Have you heard of Bice's Tell?
No.
The Elven state in the Empire.
I don't... May probably have. Have I?
Yeah. It's. I wouldn't say it's like. I mean, its existence is common knowledge. Yeah,
Okay,
so you
yeah.
would know of it.
Okay, yeah.
Bice's Tell are a bunch of elves who fled Melismere when the calamity happened in the Sevelier.
Mhm.
The Empire, they were their own vassal state for a long time until the Empire found them. The Empire marched a bunch of legions towards them, demanded their surrender, with friendship. And as the years and centuries and decades went on, they've slowly been strangling the autonomy out of Bice's Tell, slowly making them more subservient.
Yeah, that's what
They
I'm
planted
worried
they
about.
planted the same to us, and they're giving a notion of friendship in the beginning because they're too scared to send their soldiers to deal with us because they know they will lose a lot of lives. Isn't that right? What was your name again?
Gillen, and look, I understand you might have some grievances with the Empire, but well, I'm not your enemy, friends.
We're not saying you're
You're-
our enemy. We're
We're
saying
currently
the
having a
Empire.
conversation.
Yeah, we're having a conversation. We're saying the Empire is...
Right.
They don't have people's...
Don't have a good history when it comes to this sort of thing.
Thank you,
I'm
Strong.
gonna go back to reading the
Thank
contract
you.
now.
That's what I was trying to say.
I see.
And
You
it's
can
not that
return the
we-
contract.
if we can... They would have sent someone higher up, surely, to broach this subject with us. Or has Kildor sent you here personally?
Yes, as a personal favor of his, I answer to him before I answer to the Empire. See, I suppose the main reason Kildor sent me was that he does not want to come to conflict with you all. You understand where his alliances, or his allegiances lie, where his loyalties lie. He is grateful for the aid your group has done to him, and he doesn't want to have to fight you, which is why he sent me. I got in touch with a local imperial diplomat. I had this contract drafted up once I told him of the situation and who you all were, and now I'm here.
So you dropped this contract, not the Empire.
The
Or the guy, the contact you met drew this up.
Yes, and I should tell you, since it seems to be a pressing subject, he is of the Empire quite thoroughly, a bit of a diplomatic envoy and quite a prominent one, with a lot of experience in this sort of thing.
Oh, we would like to meet with him then.
That could perhaps be arranged. He will be coming with the legions themselves. It will be some time.
Or maybe we could
Hey.
amend the contract now and send it back with you.
I am afraid I cannot do that. Well, it's something of a magical contract, I suppose you could say. The terms cannot be changed by anyone now that they have been set. They can only be agreed to or refused. And this is for your benefit as much as ours, so no tampering can occur.
At this point, did I see any negligence in the contract or anything that I was looking for? Or am I still unsure?
It still takes a bit to read. It's a very dense, it's dense writing.
Well, let's
Okay.
wait for Akron here to finish scouring through the contract, and we can go from there. How about that?
That's fair.
Besides, you've had a very long journey. How about a drink?
Yeah.
Um,
I'll start
and he
rolling
gives
a
a
cigarette and pass it over to him as well.
he gives a sheepish smile. I'm sorry. I don't really partake in these sorts of things.
No,
You-
don't worry. As I rack out a line of cocaine.
Oh, I do plenty of coke. I love coke, but it's not.
Give me
There's a
that
zoom.
skooma, boy.
Have a drink as he rolls a cigarette and has it. Yeah, it's fine.
Y- Thank you, truly, thank you, but not tonight.
Okay, wait for
Well,
Akron.
you're in the run. You could be dead by tomorrow. Come on, live
That-
a little.
With all due respect, I am not such a reckless hedonist as these foolish men and women. I actually value my future.
Good for you.
Yes,
Anyway,
here you are
you.
in the run.
Akron, how you getting on?
I'm reading.
Yeah, it's about this time that you do finish up Akron after a little bit of waiting. It takes you another 5 minutes, and it's a pretty aggravating wait in the silence of this place, but you've reviewed it. With a 16 on your check, reading through, the specifics that you need to watch out for is that there will be no hostility whatsoever, and that includes things like friendly fire, things like miscommunication. Um, for all intents and purposes, let's say you were in battle and you cast a fireball and it happened to catch an Imperial soldier, that would null and void the contract, effectively freeing the Empire from any obligation. Now, they might still hold to the like the spirit of the agreement. It's not like they're obligated to go to war if that happens, but they would not be legally bound to it. And the legal nature of this conflict, this contract, and you know the Empire, they do stick to the letter of their law as pretty much very rigidly. It's the backbone of their authority. Um, no friendly fire. A negotiation is more or less ordered. There will be some kind of meeting after the battle is done, specified no later than 3 days after the cessation of conflict. There is no further term of like vassalization or anything along those lines. There's no discussion of territory or borders yet. It is purely a non-hostility agreement.
Is there any talk of them potentially occupying the run or keeping people in the run?
Not in the bounds of this contract.
Okay.
So the only thing on there then is that there will be a negotiation after the fact that will probably determine any sort of occupation or.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
In my opinion, we should not sign this contract. There are too many variables left on the field here.
Seems
One.
the variables come after the cessation of conflict, no?
Yeah.
Okay, sure, but there's nowhere does it say that they will not occupy the run once the conflict is over. They could very much
But
station
it says
the
there will
garrison
be
here.
negotiations.
That's
which
what the
means-
negotiations are for.
Yeah.
Doesn't say they won't do that though.
Well, that's what the
I mean,
negotiations
they're gonna,
are for.
yeah, but if the contract, if we don't sign the contract, they're gonna do that anyway. At least
We
we
could
get to,
always
at
hope
least we
that-
get to talk to them.
I mean, could always hope that in the conflict they lose quite a few of their troops, and when the conflict settles, we've got 2 or 3 days after the actual fighting to rally what's left and see what kind of
we can do.
manpower we've got.
Yeah.
Might be able to withstand a couple of legions.
Well, I
Do
mean,
what you will.
it's not even
The
that we
Empire
might be able
will-
to withstand legions. It might just be coming from a place of power with men behind our back. You know.
Verb.
Hmm.
Can I do like a general history check? Like, what is the general standard of living for the average Empire peasant?
Sure. Make a history check.
Come on. Ooh.
Nice.
Natural 20. You're not an Imperial citizen, are you, Zale?
I am not.
Okay. Where were you raised again? Remind me. I know it was like some village. Was
I can't remember the specific location.
Okay,
Oh my
no worries.
god, fail RP.
No worries, no worries. Yeah, okay.
A few months.
Yeah, it's all good, man. So at this point, I mean, you've been around, Zale. Maybe you weren't born and raised in the Empire, but after everything went down and you earned your freedom, you've traveled. You've seen how people have lived. You've probably intersected into the lives of quite a few people in the Empire. Peasants, all the way up to city folk and aristocrats and more. And you know that the question was the general standard of living, and the answer is it varies. Maybe like 60% of the entire imperial population is peasantry. farmers, you know, herdsmen, crafters, things of that, people of that nature, living in all sorts of small villages like Blumenthal, where Kieran was once from. And for them, they probably see a grand total income of maybe like 70 gold a year from everything that they do. And most of their living, like their expenses and stuff, is from living off the land, from farming and trading within their own local village. Actual currency is kind of hard to come by, and most of that goes into like medicine and things. Starvation isn't really a problem in the Empire, and as are like generalized like sicknesses. People live modest lives, but they're vulnerable to things like plague or to banditry. Um, Especially as the war is kicking off and soldiers are being pulled into like the conflict in the east, a lot of imperial towns are falling prey to bandit hordes, criminality and such. A lot of which comes from the run.
Hmm.
I'm going to be cheeky.
Like if you remember,
Use of
Kieran,
slaves?
The Empire has banned slavery.
Yeah, they're not big on that.
Cool. While everyone's arguing, I am going to just reach my hand behind my back, run my palm across my blade, and then I'm just going to slap it on the contract.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to look at everyone and be like, it's on me. We
The,
solve everything in the negotiations.
I hope you don't live to regret that decision, Sam.
I've already died once.
What's another?
You have heard of resurrection sicknesses and errors, right?
He seems to be pretty put
I'll have
together.
you know I'm completely and absolutely cabbage.
You know, you usually get you get one free. It's usually the second that gets you.
Hmm.
It's a
Anyway,
bit late now, I've done it.
Yeah. Well, there's your contract signed.
Excellent.
The giant bloody
Yeah, he does look at the big, like the big ass bloody handprint, and he squints his eyes and he looks at the contract and turns it over, and he sees that, well, the seal's been activated, so I suppose it worked.
Sorry, my penmanship was never that great.
I can see that. In fact, you have none at all. It's really rather crude, but I don't judge you too much. He furls the contract up, tucks it into his robes. Gentlemen, it was a pleasure to meet you. Truly, Kildor is grateful for all your help, and he hopes that someday you all can meet again in more favorable circumstances.
Fingers crossed, eh?
I myself am grateful as well. My master is, by assembly standards, a very good man, and I'm grateful not to have lost him.
What do you mean by assembly standards?
Yeah.
His face, like, there's a look of like, oh, I fucked up. And he smiles, smoothing it over, and says, my mouth is too big sometimes.
I thought we
Really?
already established the Cerberus Assembly were quite, like, yeah.
Yeah, but one of their own saying it is a different thing.
What did he say? Sorry, I missed it.
Kildor's good by assembly standards.
Oh, okay.
Something along those lines.
Good. Have a good night, gentlemen. Thank
whoa,
you.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
What-
whoa, whoa.
I just
What
let,
did you
let
mean
him.
when you said that?
I make a persuasion check.
I'm gonna use thaumaturgy to make my eyes fucking
Are-
dance.
Are you
like
going for
the-
intimidation?
Kinda, yeah.
Make an intimidation check. Oh, that's okay. Perfect. For
That
some
one,
reason,
and
your
then I'm gonna-
dice come
I'm
up
gonna
weird.
also- I'm gonna slap a that on as well.
No time to do guidance in this case, because
Slap my ass.
you slap your ass in a come on gesture, like come on and fuck me, you beautiful college student.
Definitely not.
Yeah, no. With a 15, Gillen's eyes widen a little bit, looks back at the door like almost longingly, and then
It's still
swallowing.
locked. Don't worry, but it's still locked.
Right. Well, I mean, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to speak in generalities. Well, I mean, most of the masters that I have worked under are exacting and calculating. It's hard to be your own man among them. They expect so much of you, and if you misstep, your entire career might be toppled. Kildor is human, and that is more than I can say for many of the mages. They feel almost like avatars of their profession, absorbed in what they do and having lost all sight of what it means to be a man, a woman. But that's just me. And again, my big mouth. Does that satisfy your curiosity?
No, but it will have to do.
Okay. A pleasure to meet you all, he says with an expression that suggests it has been the absolute opposite, and then leaves.
Or he goes up to the door, tries to open it, and realizes it's still locked, and he doesn't know how to get out.
Could you unlock it, please?
Let him out.
Thank you.
Yeah, let him go.
Okay.
Clicks
Thank
fingers,
you.
unlocks
Thank you.
door.
Thank you. He bows 5 times over towards each of you, and then leaves. And then you see him cast the fly spell and zip the fuck away.
As soon as the door closed, I'll uncock the hammer on the gun.
Gotcha.
Well, that was interesting. Zale, you might have put us right in for it there.
What? The
Yeah,
actual
probably.
fuck?
It wouldn't be the first time.
That's not a bad point. I'm gonna get some sleep.
And the rest of you do.
Everything can come in the negotiations, and a meeting with the Empire is what Antoinette wanted.
Okay. Akron, for that thing you sent me, make a stealth check.
Yup.
Oh yeah, the boots, right.
Yeah.
Let me check something real quick. Easy. No issues. And with that, we will end our session for tonight.
Awesome. Thanks for.
Not
Yeah,
a
thank you.
problem. Things are heating up.
Why are all of your characters shady as fuck, Oosty?
What do you mean? Kieran wasn't shady. The orb made him shady. Then he lost the orb and he was just cheerful old Kieran again. Jay is shady because I wanted to try something. Akron, you didn't know shit about Akron.
I'm glaring at my monitor now.
Bro, he's just an artificer. He likes to create little robots that go beep boop boop boom. With the lasers.
Mm-hmm. And I'm Mo Farah.
I don't know who that is.
Exactly.
Okay, well, thanks for it. That was a good session.
Morris, before you go... yeah, don't worry. Morris, before you go, make a perception check for me. 21! Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you do. It's very subtle considering the aura of everything else that you're wearing. It would be easy to miss, but you do spot it.
Okay. Thank you, Verb.
No problem. No problem. And now we close our session out.
Well, that was fucking interesting.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. Things are heating up. This shit is getting interesting.
I'm
liking it.
so happy I got a reader on our side.
Yeah, man.
That was like a proper, like, I'm just going to risk this because it might work. And I was like, fall in with one of the bands, try and recruit them to our side and see what I can find out.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. I mean, yeah, it's gonna take some creativity to get through this, because, like, you've got the Jagantots on one hand, and the Mardoons, and the Utalots, and on their own, those families are pretty powerful. With all the influence and money that they have, you're facing a lot. So yeah, I mean...
We've now got the money part sorted.
Yeah, for now. Yeah, I mean...
Maybe. We're racking up bodies pretty quick, like, and we've got to pay them all.
Yeah, but we've reprocessed very little of it, and we've already got 20,000.
Well, I think that we're leaving the diamonds out of it for personal.
I know. I'm just saying, like, in theory, if it got to it, like, we could.
I mean,
still
if
do it.
that other £75 of refined is
Anyway, thank you for
based off
joining.
the same thing, that's